It's the man, the king, the god, this shit, Nick fucking Gage. You know how I start this off. Shout out to all my MDK gang members around the world. And I want to let everybody know, Blvd Bullies versus the World is a podcast. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live on YouTube with my motherfucking boy, Larry the Legend. And what the Blvd Bullies are doing, they're trying to ignite a revolution. Within the fans unite and make the crowds electric again. So check out the Blvd Bullies vs. the World. 7 p.m. live Tuesdays with Larry the fucking Legend. MDK all fucking day.
Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of 2024 for the longest-running episodic podcast on this here Blvd Bullies YouTube channel. Welcome to, I'm going to get it right this time, Larry, Blvd Bullies versus the World versus the W. I'm your host, PK, with the BLVD, and I'm joined by the crew, the clique, the clan, the fam. First and foremost, my wrestling father, CZW Hall of Famer, former boat owner, Showcase Showdown winner. You know how we start this off. Wearing a 2019 crown bestowed upon you by the king. Now you are the king. Ladies and gentlemen, my wrestling dad and yours, Larry Legend. Nice shirt, Larry. Is that?
It's bro.
Yeah, you guys were muted that whole time. But we're back. We're back. Larry was just talking very eloquently about his beautiful shirt. And yes, we still do have a merchandise store. And we have things to buy in that store. Resolution time. I think I'm going to say that a lot this show. Resolution time. We're going to release more dope merch in 2025. We are going to release new designs, rework some old ones, and I am going to be shipping them in a timely manner. Resolution time! After missing last week's episode and kind of giving us a little bit of a sassy video message, like kind of flexing that he had a family. He's like, oh, I have a family. So
I didn't say it like that. That's not my tone.
Things.
That wasn't my tone.
I have a I'm like you two losers. I have a family. A family. Ladies and gentlemen, he'll fucking knock your ass out if you are a racist, misogynist, or if you show up to his fucking house. Ladies and gentlemen, Bad Take Bri, the merch guy. Hey, resolution time. Merch is going to be on a fever pitch, so you better dust off your old fucking wrapping fingers.
Speaking of gifts, it is the 7th night of Hanukkah, and it has now become a tradition to do the Hanukkah prayer on Blvd Bullies versus the World. So join me in this Hanukkah prayer while we light the 7th candle.
I love you, Solo.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvot v'tzivanu el chadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Amen.
Happy Chanukah.
Do you know my favorite part of that chant, that ancient thing that you utter on here is that you say my family's last name. Like you say my grandma's maiden last name, McNair. With at one point you say McNair.
I
And
say
know it's not.
Licknair. It's Licknair. Lick.
Oh, well then you
It's
should have just
close.
okay, well, whatever.
I'm just you know.
It just reminds me of
Resolution
my
time.
grandma. It reminds me of my grandma.
Resolution time. Maybe in the new year, I will do away with mute buttons. And you're just going to hear us chew. You're going to hear us slobber. You're going to hear my creaky chair. Maybe we'll just raw dog it all of 2025
Sounds
with the
easy.
audio just to prevent from. I feel like it's kind of a part of the show now, though.
It is.
Brian, is it true that the 7 days leading up to the last night of Hanukkah, you get like shit gifts? You get like stocking stuffers. You get just like little knickknacks, Dollar Tree type items. And then on the 8th night, you'll get like the fucking N64.
I will say that strictly depends on how rich your family is. If you're poor or middle class, you're most likely going to get 1 to 2 really good gifts. And the rest will be not as great.
So it's like a shit sandwich. Like you get night 1 and night 8.
Me personally, I only went to my father's once a week. So I only got 1 Hanukkah gift
Smart guy.
and 1 Christmas gift. I only got 1 night of Hanukkah and 1 night of Christmas.
So your dad
Neither
was the
religious.
Jew,
No,
and you'd
right.
go over there, and he wouldn't have 8 gifts waiting for you. You would go on whatever night.
Right. Monday, it would be a Monday or a Monday and a Tuesday.
And then so your dad got you Hanukkah gift.
Wrapped it in tinfoil.
Wrapped it in tinfoil. Better than newspaper. Well, I don't know. I think tinfoil might be worse than newspaper.
No,
Because, as a kid, you could chew the
tinfoil's
tinfoil.
easier. It's easy to manipulate, and it's much easier than, and it's shiny.
It is. It's shinier. Yeah, that's true. How was your Christmas, Larry?
Mellow. I mean, I had to go around to several different homes, one of which I missed
Just like Santa.
because I got a call Christmas morning that they were ill, and they didn't want me to get ill.
Right, stay away.
But no, I went around to a bunch of houses and just spread that Christmas cheer.
I love that for you. I laid low with Ma. Ma made a roast beef, which was delectable. But
I
you know
can
what the
just
best
see
part
you
was?
sinking your teeth
Next
into
day-
it. I can see you.
Sandwiches.
Next day, hot, open roast beef sandwiches.
Yes, bitch.
It's funny that you say that
Yes,
because on
bitch.
my Christmas Eve, I went to my sister's, and her husband Ryan cooked a holiday ham, and it's the first time I had a honey ham.
Ooh, it was a honey
And the
ham. Did it
next-
have the pineapple, the long pineapple circles, like the big
There
ass
was
circles?
there was pineapple. There's no pineapple. There was just a ham. It was a honey ham with
You
no
just said a
pineapple.
moment ago there was pineapple.
Because you made me. It sounded
Bro,
delicious, and I wish there
was
was
a- You think-
pineapple.
I mean, you think there was?
There was no pineapple, but
It
the
was a
ham
triple-
sandwiches the next
It
day
was
were
a
right.
triple H. Holiday honey ham.
Yes, it was most definitely a Triple H.
Yeah. You feast on the meats. Brian, isn't your life much better as a meat eater?
Leagues better.
Except you
Ever
are
since
sick.
I had-
You have to.
I am.
You
I
have
am.
a tummy.
I have a tummy, but that might have nothing to do with meat.
Yeah, your body's probably in shock. It's like, where's all this ham coming from?
I've been eating meat again for years now.
Brian, I didn't know that Say Oswald made a John Cena shirt.
This is actually, this is a spoiler for the BJW King of the Deathmatch Grand Prix tournament. If you didn't watch,
Turn away. Turn away.
turn
if you
away.
didn't watch.
But the winner, I'm wearing the winner of
John
that
Cena.
Grand Prix, the very man that you spoke shit about, our friend Akira.
You know, it's about time that Akira finally gets his due. I've been shouting from the rooftops that he needs to, just give him the ball. He's amazing, And so thank God our prayers have been answered.
You were below the rooftop jump when he jumped off a roof
I was
at
right there.
ICW. You were right there with your green hat.
I was right there with my green hat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little hungover. I went into the city last night, drank too much. So I don't know. Brian, you and I had plans to ring in the new year together. I was going to unplug all this shit and hop in a cab and come partay with you. But I think we're both kind of like, nah. Kind of like old men now.
Old men on New Year's. I might still go. There's also an event that shall not be named happening in Brooklyn that I was told about.
An event that shall not be. Oh.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how far that is from where I am.
Hey, you know what? Flyer, 10 out of 10. Wrestling, 4 out of 10.
Are you talking about
Is there any?
the company that shall not
what
be
is
named?
the card, Brian? Do you know what's
No, I
was
don't. I don't.
advertised, Brian? What's the card?
No, I was honestly, I had no idea. I
I've
didn't
been
even
an
know there
Akira guy
was.
since day one.
Shut up, chat. But I didn't even know there was a New Fear City. Our friend Jimmy Controversy asked me if I was going, and that's the only reason I know that it exists. James Controversy.
Jim, yeah.
He's only referred to as James when he's helping Roberto Negro do.
Well, it's weird because how's he going to set up a ring at a no-ring show? Like what?
I think he's just going to hang out.
Oh, in case they need a hand. In case they need a good hand.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
He's a helpful hand. Jimmy Controversy is a helpful hand.
I feel like I lost more brain cells per capita just being in a circle of conversation with him than I ever have, ever.
He's a little slow.
Like, I think just hearing
helpful.
him talk to somebody else gave me CTE.
He very well may have it.
Joe, and we were standing outside of the Hart Ballroom, and Jimmy Controversy was like, rapping, and there was a very short accessoride bus that pulled up, and Vincent Dudes, shout out Vincent, he had a great year as well. Shout out Vincent Dudes, had a great year. Vincent Dudes goes, your ride's here.
We should have him come on the show.
Vincent Dudes had listened to Jimmy Controversy speak for 30 seconds. I was like, yeah, get on. Your ride's here, dude. Vincent Dudes,
you leave my James
underrated,
alone.
hilarious man. A very underrated, hilarious man.
Underrated guitar player as well.
Underrated guitar player. So, yeah, I could feel myself being a little flat, a little fucking hungover. But it's a chill day. It's a end of a year. End of an era. We're gonna rest in peace, 2024. We're gonna talk about all the lists, all the things. I'm so bad at lists because I only remember like what happened the last 3 months. So in the group chat, Brian, we were talking about like the year and what we're gonna talk about, and you mentioned Eat the Turnbuckle.
My birthday.
And I was like, holy fuck, yeah! Like, it seemed 8 months ago. 8 months ago. That sounds even long to say.
That's like 2 fucking years, dude.
It's 8 months, Brian.
Right.
Feels 8 like 2 years. 8 months ago, we were in Philadelphia.
It feels like.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Thank you, Larry.
I'm just joking. Yeah, 8 months ago, we were in Philadelphia.
WrestleMania. We were literally at WrestleMania.
We went to WrestleMania this year.
I finished my story.
You finished your story. Hey, shout out WrestleMania. So what happened even before April? Like, you know what I mean?
Must have went to an XPW event.
Yes, there was XPW in, was it January and February?
I think the Look What You Made Me Do was in November. That might have been 2023.
That's 2023, Brian.
So I don't think there was a 2024 XPW until Look What You Made Me Do.
Look What You Made Me Do?
The Gauntlet of Death. The Gauntlet of Death was Masada versus Dr. Redacted. Was that what show was that, Larry? Which show was that Dr. Redacted versus Masada?
There was the show. There was the show where we all wore turtlenecks.
Yeah, which was it? South of Heaven? No.
We did all wear turtlenecks. That's very, very funny.
Drive-In Massacre.
That was the.
No, it wasn't Drive-In Massacre. Was it?
Well,
Drive-In
I feel like
Massacre?
Drive-In Massacre was in the year. See, guys, this is our year in review. If you want like a polished list, polished awards, you know where to find it. This year in review episode on Blvd Bullies versus the World is us just trying to figure out what happened, just trying to piece it together.
The Blur.
So it's a
If
Bull. it's a
Sean
big
was here, he
The
would have
Blur.
remembered everything. Sean would have remembered everything because he was the stat guy.
He was the statistics guy.
Just saying.
Really funny just to mention Sean, the powers that be. We were by the way, Brian, and we do want to get your Cage of Death fucking opinions. We were over the moon about Jumbo Man, James McGrady, being the exalted referee for the main event of Cage of Death between Mickey Knuckles and Judge Joe Dredd. And I saw that immediately after he did one of these flyers of like all the logos of all the companies he's worked for, you know, and he added like CCW Cage available for bookings now, which I love. You know, good for you. Do your thing. And I texted the powers that be, and I was like, way to go, Jumbo, Cage of Death referee. And we were like talking about Jumbo, and then I was like, you know, I'm surprised that Sean doesn't have one of these, like available for bookings.
Well, to be honest, I haven't heard much at all from Sean. I mean, I know that he worked that one show where Joey Janela wrestled Crowbar, and I remember I saw that he announced that match. I don't even remember what that was for.
Larry, you're frozen.
Yeah, Larry's froze.
But yeah, you know, hey, listen. Oh, okay.
But I would say that
sideways.
that leaving that quitting the Blvd Bullies might have been a little big mistake on his part.
A little big. I think it probably, you know, because that's the thing. Like, he might have quit, but he can't quit having been on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he can't erase the past.
He was at my wedding.
But I think, you know what it is? Quitting allows him to, it opens up the avenue of like, no, fuck those guys, which is what the promoters want to hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it was probably hard for him to say, fuck those guys. My views and opinions don't align with them. It's probably a lot harder for him to do that when he was on the show every week. So it's kind of like the final like move where it's like, oh no, you know, I hated that. Like I never agreed with that, and it was a big fight, and I never agreed with any of that. I'm moving on up, brother. You know, so hey, shout out, Sean. Hope you had a great New Year. By the way, just fantasy football update. Sean's team, out of spite to me, once again, did not swap out any injured players, did not pick up any new players in fantasy football. His team finished in 7th place, 3 spots ahead of my team, but in the loser's bracket, I vanquished him. In the fantasy football group chat, his team has become known as the zombie team because it's dead, but it's undead because it'll bite you. It's not an easy win, you know? So I put all of my effort into beating the zombie team last week, and I want to let you guys know we lopped that head clean off, and the zombie team has been vanquished.
Nice.
Thank you guys.
I know that you didn't want to see him. You don't want to see him hanging around.
Not to mention, since Sean's departure, we had Nicolas Gage on this very show. We had Drake Younger once again. We've had good.
We had
good
construction
moments.
Drake.
We had construction Drake cleaning the highways and the byways.
Yeah,
or
highways
constructing
and byways. Hey, I think it was a pretty good year. It was definitely a blur. But, you know, we ran that entire fucking angle that killed XPW. We also did the Eat the Turnbuckle fucking Underground Arts thing, which was awesome.
My birthday.
Larry,
my
I know
birthday.
you had an extravagant year, a legendary year. Highlights? Lowlights?
I just want to say that this is the year that definitely like I have realized that I've like made it. And a lot of that is thanks to y'all. I've been able to like seamlessly move from like multiple different companies despite the weather. Like I'm it. I'm fucking it. And shout out to the 3 people that bought the new Juicy Hot Dogs t-shirt There's already 3. Jeff Anderson bought one. I'm not sure who bought one from the Etsy, and Steph bought one from Oklahoma. So shout out to everybody, and shout out to the Boulevard Bullies. With or without Sean, we reign supreme.
I'm gonna call. I'm sorry, Larry.
Hmm?
I'm gonna talk shit to you, Larry, because last week I was absent, but I still watch and I hear, and I recall you saying that you and Patrick have always been a duo, and other people were just revolving around your orbits.
Yes.
And I would just like to say that this show started as a duo, and you weren't here, Larry. And I did that. I'm just saying. That's all I'm gonna say.
How dare you, Brian? You know, Brian, you better
How
watch
dare,
out.
how dare
because
both of you talk
because-
shit while I'm not here like I don't hear it.
with a new year comes a new
I have ears behind my head.
opportunity in a new year to burn new bridges. So you better watch it, buddy.
I like
Brian,
bridges.
you weren't there. Zach Linder. Zach Linder is you, bro.
Yeah, he was
No,
the first Jew.
Understand? And
Things
bro,
evolve. This
the
is an
fact that I say
evolution.
that-
It's an evolution. I am not somebody else.
Listen, the fact that I say that Zach Linder is you is crowning you a motherfucking king. Because you don't even know the origins. You don't even know the origins.
I don't even know who Zach Linder is.
Oh my God!
But I'm sure if I met him, we'd get along grand.
Well, I'm 2 Jews. You know what? He's much more Jewish than you. He would probably look at you and say, "Look at this fucking Gentile motherfucker. Look at this gringo."
I am straight out of Auschwitz.
Oh my God, Brian!
Brian,
What
no!
the fuck?
No, Brian, no!
It's true.
Stop making me want to make that a t-shirt.
Family, straight out of it. Survive. Survivors.
Well, I'm straight out of Bilson Bergen. Fuck, dude, what the fucking...
We're like brothers.
You're sick.
Oh
You're
my
absolutely
gosh.
sick. Let's get to Larry's favorite part of the show.
Ooh, it's a surprise too. You guys don't even know what it is.
All right, so last week, Brian, you were huddled in a corner, sitting at the kids' table at your family dinner, and watching the show, being antisocial, stuffing your face with honey ham. So what
We
did
ate
you
early.
think?
We
Holiday.
ate early. God
Holiday.
damn it.
Holiday honey ham.
Holiday honey ham.
I was relaxing.
Yeah, you know who else relaxed? I don't know where I was going with that. What did you think of the giveaway? What did you think of your the conclusion to your exclusive giveaway?
It was a brand new winner. It was nice to see Drawber Radio, who does the
Yes,
very
yes!
countdown it's the only countdown that I really know about that he does every year.
Well,
It's
like a
great
list.
He does he does like the best of 20, the best of the whole year. He does the best match, the best wrestler, the best event. He does the whole fucking thing, which is dope.
Maybe
And
we'll
he
maybe
won.
we'll get into his list later. Maybe we'll just, instead of making our own list because we can't remember, we'll just
has a
read
good
his
list.
and talk about it.
I have a gripe with his list. I'm pretty perturbed actually.
So you're not going to send him the Lou Nixon?
No, I first of all, we're very fair here at the Boulevard Bullies.
Tough but
So
fair.
even if we hate you and you win, you'd still get the giveaway because that's just the rules.
Unless I or Sean have to send it, in which case we love you and still won't send it.
Right.
Yeah. So what
Me
did
and
you think?
Larry
Do you have
sent
any thoughts, opinions, love or hate about the Kickpad and exclusive winner?
Well, yeah.
Jobber
I
Tears
I
Radio,
have
Jobber,
if
Jobber
we're going to talk,
Radio, Jobber
we're gonna,
TV.
we're going to talk about his list, and I have a gripe with his list.
But besides
gonna
that,
talk-
everything's great.
Right. I appreciate his view and his participation in the giveaway. I love it when people comment and say some shit.
You know, Brian, I will say that without you, maybe it was Christmas Eve, maybe it's just the holiday season, but the numbers took a dip without Bad Take.
What?
They took a little dip, and the comments took a little dip as well. I think after those kick pads, after those kick pods, everyone's all commented out. People busted their keyboards over
that
us.
was a good giveaway.
It was a keyboard busting giveaway.
Pat,
And
my ego is bruised.
I know you'd think that the numbers would bump so that because Brian wasn't here to interrupt you and anger you, But no,
Yeah, I
it was
feel like
actually the exact
the
opposite.
numbers. I'm sorry, excuse me, but I feel like the numbers plummeted when I was rudely removed from the Boulevard Bullies. I was not promoting the show weekly. There was a plunder in the numbers when I was not here, as that continues to show.
Resolution time. I am going to promote the show better. Instagram is going to be fired back up. You know what it is? I get sick of the fucking rat race, dude. I get sick of the number grab rat race. You know,
All you gotta do is make a post. All you gotta do is not care about the numbers and just make a post and then post it and leave it and see what it does. People see it.
You know, I think it's all still in response to like Cuck Steve getting like 1 million likes on like boy sleepovers, girl sleepovers.
Well, he
like,
makes the bottom of the barrels like silly memes.
Low hanging fruit.
It's the low hanging fruit, but that's obviously what's gonna get. That shit gets the most fucking shit. He doesn't. Fuck him and fuck that shit.
Yeah, so I am going to remotivate myself. I'm going to de-thaw myself. I'm going to go back in time and retake back my mojo, and I'll be running things. More
I don't
smooth.
believe you.
Resolution time.
This is gonna be. It's a good thing you're not Pinocchio, or else your nose would probably be 10 feet long.
Hold on.
You reference Pinocchio a lot, Brian.
What?
Is that your favorite child's movie?
Well, it's one of the only movies that has a big liar in it.
Do they really
That his
call us
nose-
Gentiles? Yes, Urka. Hey, shout out Urka. Matriarch of the Boulevard Bullies
Mother
family.
Earth.
Mother Earth.
Gentiles
Mother Earth.
it's a certain type, isn't it? It's
I
a
think
Christian.
Gentile just means non-Jew, doesn't it?
I think it's a Christian because I think if you're Catholic, I guess anybody that believes in Jesus. Because if you're a Muslim, you're not Gentile.
Huh. Well, I guess it'll forever remain a mystery. I don't think anybody knows what it means. Let's get to Larry's favorite part of the show. Brian, you announced via sassy video about your family that you had a secret Hanukkah giveaway. A gift that you will bestow upon the viewers even more than your beautiful tune that you sang in the opening of this program. Please, without further
Dreidels. This time, the directions not written by me, so it's slightly
Didn't you
less
write
cool.
the directions on like a napkin last year?
Well, last year I bought dreidels that just didn't come with directions, so I felt the need to put them there. But this time, I didn't have to. And these are wooden, and also Schlack stickers.
What's the
other
deal?
ones
Did
weren't
Schlack
in there.
forget his shorts in Japan, like at home?
I think that Schlack didn't wear my wife's socks, and that's why he didn't win. I think that he won the 7 King of the Death match because he had my wife's socks on, and he didn't
'Cause the
travel to
socks.
Japan. Right.
Well, I think it's obvious that Akira won because whoever our fans are in Japan were like, oh, you know, Pat talks shit on Akira. His career is spiraling now. And so let's lift this ball up.
Did you know that Akira got dual citizenship and is going to live in Japan?
Yeah, I think all you need to do is dress as an anime maid to get Japanese citizenship.
It's very possible.
I think that's you just walk into like
It might be a requirement.
You just walk into like the DMV or the immigration office and you go, honey. Sorry, I made myself laugh there. Let's get to these comments. Schlack stickers and wooden dreidels complete with instructions. JJDNPW says, can't wait for this Tuesday. Well, guess what, bitch? It's Tuesday. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching. Love you, live for you. Gastrointestinal hemorrhage. See you in the chat. Shout out to you. Merry Christmas, bullies. Axel knows. Merry Christmas, guys. I definitely won the t-shirt. The mystery is solved. Resolution time. That shirt's going to be in the mail at some point in the month of January. I'll let you know who I am a year from now just to keep the mystery going. Thank you. I've already forgotten. Brahala. Will Larry be returning to the upcoming MCW show at North Point Flea Market? Larry, will you branch? Will you talk about some MCW 2024 highlights and answer Brawlhalla's lovely question.
There's no MCW shows scheduled at the North Point Flea Market. I think that person is trolling because
They're
they
on
know
crack?
my origins. Yeah, they know my origins. We're not MCW is not doing anything at the North Point Flea Market anytime soon. I don't know if the North Point Flea Market even still exists.
I mean, I guess that is one thing that you can kind of figure out from me reading the comments. I'm just going to read every comment like they're serious. I don't know what's a troll and what's not. So troll on, trollers.
So the North Point Flea Market was the old stomping grounds of MCW back in like 2005. So whoever made that comment knows that I used to rock the North Point Flea Market in 2005 and knows that I still pop up at the MCW shows that are like, are you ready there? We're not going to, no, ain't no North Point Flea Market. I don't even know if that place still exists.
I feel like this year you did reconnect with MCW, though. You were there a lot. You saw, what's the fucking guy's name? Patrick Jr.?
Patrick Clark?
You got
Patrick
it,
Clark Jr.
You got it. Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like there was another
Guys,
big...
that's my alma mater. Before, bro, I know people don't want to hear it, but before Blackout, before the Bullies, before Pazuzu, I was first welcome into this shit from MCW. And they will always be, that's why I'm always like fucking going back and forth with Brian about origins. Like origins. Oh, GCW is iconic. They ran Hammerstein twice. Icon. No, bitch. No. No, bitch. No. Not for the motherfuckers that are older that fucking were doing it when there was no chance of us getting in the Hammerstein Ballroom. But guess what? MCW did get in the Hammerstein Ballroom way before GCW ran the Hammerstein Ballroom. So, I show them love.
And I feel like Leo Rush made his illustrious return as well this past year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leo, Patrick,
got the
Ken
bag.
Dixon
Got the
in
bag this year.
XPW. Ken Dixon, Brian, Ken Dixon in XPW, all over the fucking place. Pawn over there on AEW. Let's not forget about WWE Hall of Famer Lita, who shouted out MCW in her speech.
Really?
Bro, don't, dude.
Here's
It's
a good
like-
question from Tony Norman. And this is the fifth and final comment. Very low comments, just probably because people don't want to yell at Brian. And like I said, they busted their keyboards over these kick pads. Is Glass Bond in New Jersey or just at H2O? Happy New Year. Happy New Beer.
Well, what did Tony say? Is Glass Bond?
Is Glass Bond
Is
in
Glass
New Jersey,
Bond?
or is it just H2O? I just want to say that since they had that X brand show where they told X brand that they could not use glass, there has been no glass used at H2O. And it's like there have been events in New Jersey with glass, obviously. Seven did the one night only. They had glass. Fucking the GCW runs, they fucking use glass. And fucking the only venue to not use glass since then was H2O. So I'm going to say that it's strictly a venue thing where they just don't want Matt Tremont to use glass anymore.
Yeah.
But it's also weird because he was supposed to move. There was supposed to be a move of Matt Tremont to like Michigan.
Is Tremont in the Japan thing? Is Tremont over there in Corrigan Hall?
No,
is
no,
Tremont
no.
over there?
No. Tremont is not in Corrigan Hall. It was Schlack, Mickey, Eric Dillinger, Chuck Stein, Violento Jack, and Akira that weren't Japanese.
They were in Japan.
Those were the only
Gaijins.
non-Japanese.
Gaijins.
The Bakagajians.
Gentiles. That's what they call them in Japan.
Definitely no Jew. Oh, no, I think Chuck Stein might be a Jew. Not sure. Chuck
I wonder
Stein,
what, like,
maybe.
like Gentiles, gringos. I wonder what Japanese people call crackers. Like
There's definitely a Japanese word for
I feel
white.
like there's a Japanese word for crackers
100%.
that's not kaiju.
like a derogatory.
Like a derogatory.
Gaijin.
Definitely.
They call us like
Gaijin.
Big Macs or something.
100%.
Quarter pounders. Wonder Bread.
You're-
1,000%.
All right, so who wins the dreidels?
We're gonna do the fucking wheel of wonder right now. Here it goes. Round and round.
Axel knows. Wait, is that the guy who won the shirt?
Axel knows wins a lot.
He fucking
Axl
participates.
knows wins a lot,
Axel
they comment a
knows
lot.
participates weekly. The more you comment, the more you'll win. Just like horror, pain, gore, death. Our good friend John Richter likes to say, I rig the fucking wheel of fortune. And John Richter should shut the fuck up because I never rigged anything. And we're fair here at the Blvd Bullies, especially on Hanukkah.
Listen, I enjoyed a marijuana cigarette with Johnny Richter at Cage of Death.
Well, it wasn't not John Richter. What's his name? God damn it. DG Cult. Fucking, who makes the designs for us, Patrick?
DG,
Fuck.
yeah.
Fuck. It's making me tired. I can't remember his name. He's going to fucking hate me now.
Is it Bren?
Yeah.
Bren.
Bren,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bren, piece of shit. Big fucking giant oaf.
Well, I didn't smoke with
Okay.
Brett.
He calls me short, and he's giant. That's all I'm going to say to you.
Well,
He doesn't
hey,
comment.
shout
He doesn't
out-
comment.
Also,
He doesn't
I just want
win.
to say, Jobber, your kick pads in the fucking mail.
Already
Your
in the
kick
mail.
pads in
He
the
must
mail.
have received the Lou exclusive giveaway already. That was the supposed to arrive today. But if you comment on this YouTube video when the live stream ends and you comment on the video, you will be entered in next week's giveaway, which will be the 7 CD given to us by Horror, Pain, Gore, Death
Hey, shout out.
and the Akira
Oh, Jesus
ICW trading card.
It's weird. He looks a lot slimmer in that photo
'Cause
than
he
he does on
fucking
your
bulked
shirt.
up. Bulked up. He's bulked up.
I don't think he's ever been as big as he is on your shirt. Guy's like
It's
145
an-
pounds.
He's definitely at least 200 pounds.
Yeah, and his hair.
He's got like anime hair.
He's got beautiful hair. I think that's where my hate comes from. Is like if I had nicer hair. If I had Akira's hair, I mean,
be happy. You'd just be a happier guy.
I'd just be happier. I'd just be happier, and just so many more doors would open for me.
Why don't you? You should just go Triple H and just bick your head.
Just
and then
buzz
you
it.
just won't worry.
You know, it's funny
Just don't need
because
this-
over the summer, after your wedding, I was going to another wedding, and I'm like, man, I'm kind of like I'm almost 40. I'm kind of going a little bald. Maybe I'll just buzz my head for the wedding because I always wear a hat, and you can't really wear a hat at a wedding,
No.
unless it's like a
It's a fancy
Undertaker hat
Right,
or a cowboy hat in a Texas wedding. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just buzz my head. But one of my bald friends told me that if I do that, I'm just going to look like I have cancer. Everyone's going to think I'm sick.
Jesus
'Cause-
Christ, that's
'cause
so
you
rude to
gotta
say.
buzz it, especially when you're very white. You buzz your head. You need your head to be like weathered. You need to like weather your head. You can't just buzz it and walk out because then you look like you're sick. You're the color of your dome's got to match the color of your face.
You can still you can still buzz your head and get a nice fade and look dope. It doesn't have to look like you're sick. You can get a faded haircut where it doesn't look like you just have cancer. I don't think I look like I have cancer. I just look like I'm in the military. Military is a nice haircut.
How many
Fuck
companies
everybody.
that didn't use Akira in the States are going to use him now that he's the KODTM winner? KOTDM.
Well, and also,
One of
let's just
many.
shout out the match that he had with Drake Younger.
Oh, that was
Probably
a good-
one of the matches of the year.
That was a good.
Excuse me.
Yes, Larry.
Was Drake in this thing over in Japan that Akira?
I just named them all, Larry.
No, Drake
I'm
was not.
bringing-
He's
I'm
he's
illustrating-
building highways and byways.
I'm
No.
illustrating a point.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't.
Was Jun Kasai?
Jun Kasai
Was
was
the
in a
Crazy
non.
Monkey-
He was on a non-tournament match. There was other. There was like
Jun
Abdullah
Kasai, the crazy monkey. Brian, was Masada there?
no.
Oh.
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 What
Takeda was
point
there.
are you trying to illustrate, Larry? I'm a little lost.
I mean, I don't know what this thing was.
It's just a thing.
But whatever this thing was, if they did not crown Schlack the motherfucking undisputed king, I don't want to know about it.
Akira fucking deserved that shit, and the matches were great matches.
Who did
Brian, what do you
Schlack
mean
lose to?
deserved? Brian,
mean?
Brian, what do you?
Dude,
What do you?
You should have seen.
What do you mean?
If you look at that man's
Brian,
back,
Brian,
look at that
Brian,
man's back.
Look at his
You,
body.
Brian, do I deserve to be in WWE? Do I
Sure.
deserve to be in AEW? Do
I would say
deserve
that you
those
should.
things?
You should have been.
Well, it's not happening.
Well, that
It's
doesn't.
not
What does that?
happening, Brian.
That doesn't mean it
Because
should.
it doesn't matter what people like you think that they deserve.
What does that mean? It's my opinion. I'm allowed to think that he
I know
deserves
it's your
something.
opinion,
Dude,
Brian,
I got this
But
shirt
all I'm
since
saying
he
is
fucking
that
started
it doesn't
fucking
matter.
doing
What
death
do you-
matches.
Don't fucking put that as a merit that someone deserves some shit in front of me.
Why?
I deserve it all.
But you don't even wrestle.
Yeah, but I announced.
He brings
Yeah,
a
but
good
we're
point.
not
He brings
talking
up a good
about
point,
Red.
Larry.
We're talking about the
So
wrestlers.
what? So what? Announcers don't deserve it.
I
Bobby
think they
Cruz
do.
doesn't deserve it.
If you ask me, I would say
Akira
if,
deserves it
I would
because he fights.
I would say Larry Legend deserves to be in a fucking company signed and on television somewhere. I would say that every
But
time somebody
somehow
asks
or
me.
other, Akira deserves it just that much more, right?
What do you mean more? It's not more. He deserves it just because he does what he does.
There's no such thing.
What?
There's no fucking such thing in this shit. It's what I'm trying to illustrate.
I just had a
Fucking
really good
deserve.
idea.
Dude, he's put in
Bro,
work
it's a-
and deserves it.
Bro, it's
Ask
a
Necro Butcher.
fucking
We had
made-up
Necro Butcher
thing.
on this very
It's a-
show, and
Bro,
that man
it's a
put over
made-up
Akira.
fucking thing. The
If
same
Necro Butcher
point
puts over
that I was
Akira,
trying to
that
make
means
about
something.
how, like, Japan, the same point that I was trying to
Japan.
make about Japan not being what Japan once was, but it's still kind of like riding the luster of what Japan once was, is exactly the same point of you talking about niggas deserving shit.
I think that if Necro Butcher comes onto this very show and puts over Akira,
But he's partial because he got his feet rubbed.
what do you mean? I think that Necro Butcher's a very honest man. And if he does not like you and you suck and you're a piece of shit, Necro Butcher will say that and he will not rub your fucking feet. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's a good point. That's also a good point. You guys are both bringing up very valid points. I'm undecided.
I guess I can't argue with the fact that a man the caliber of Dylan rubbing your feet and coring it whole is kind of an endorsement.
And Drake. Drake wrestled his final death match against Akira, and Akira retired the man. Get out of town.
Listen. I'm not diminishing the merits of Akira. All I'm trying to say
I
is
am.
don't get gassed for you New Yorkers. Don't get gassed by fucking someone doing some shit and calling it whatever and being like,
I'm
oh,
a fan.
this
I'm a
is that
fan.
shit.
I'm a fan being a fan. If you got
But you're a fan that is ignorant, Brian.
that's
You
your
don't
opinion.
know.
That's your opinion. I'm allowed to
No,
think
I
whatever I
know.
want. I'm allowed to think whatever
I
I want.
know.
If you were somewhere and won and got an award, I'd be giddy and just as excited as being a fan of Akira and him winning
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, because
Right.
I deserve it, Brian, right? I deserve it,
Yes.
right?
Right.
But it doesn't matter if Akira is as good of a deathmatch wrestler as I am as an announcer.
I think
Because
Larry's
anyone
point
can
is that
kind of
how
like-
can a fan determine who deserves what?
I don't determine who deserves it. I didn't book the fucking match. I'm just happy that he won and thinks that he is the one that deserved it. Obviously, other people agree with me, or else he wouldn't have fucking won.
Bro, how the fuck is Schlack not the king of the motherfucking globe?
Apparently,
very
he lost the
disappointed.
first round.
Schlack and Mickey Knuckles both lost their first matches.
Brian, was there a wrestler? Was there a wrestler called Beastman?
Beastman, he lost. Schlack lost to Beastman in the first round in a dope ass match, and everybody is hating on Beastman because apparently Beastman is new to the death match scene.
He's a
But-
beast.
Pat,
If you
you
watch
see,
the-
you see how I'm doing this, right? You see how I'm doing this, right, Pat? You see how I'm doing this, right? I know you do.
I'm just laying out. I'm loving this because I feel like I was bringing kind of some low energy to the table.
So everybody is tight. Everybody is tight because Beastman is like Art the Clown, right?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Art because as you guys are arguing about who deserves
would
what,
say he wasn't a joke. He was scary. He's a fucking beast.
let me
dude.
tell you
He's a
something.
Art.
Let me
So is
tell
Art.
you something,
So is
brother.
Art.
What? So is Art what?
I'm gonna tell you
A
right
beast.
now. I'm gonna
Right?
tell you right
A
now.
motherfucking beast.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Like
Beast
the
Man.
Clown.
I liked Beastman. I think Beastman was
Deserves
dope.
it.
I thought the match was great, and him beating Schlack made him insane. To me,
Hey,
that's like,
you know,
oh, you just
it's
beat fucking
funny,
Schlack.
Larry.
That's crazy.
It's funny that you mentioned Art the Clown, right? Because Terrifier 3 it had to be one of the top 10 highest grossing films of 2025, right? And maybe if it wasn't the highest grossing, just like net, cost versus profit,
Come on, let's go.
huge margin, right? Huge margin. And I'm thinking to myself, and I was thinking about this earlier this week, it's like, why was Art the Clown so popular? Because people were starved.
Okay, show off. He doesn't
They were
smoke
starved.
cigarettes.
They were starved for a new slasher icon. Because there's only so many times that you could fucking trot Michael Myers back out there. Freddy, Jason. Somebody want a new IP needs to be created. You know what I'm saying? So, when you stand up, and Larry, this was, I feel like, your argument. When you stand Art the Clown up to the legends of old, he pales in comparison. But because our current state of affairs, the consumer is starved. And I think that's very similar, Brian, to Japan not hitting as hard as it did when Brody and fucking Cactus Jack and Terry Funk were over there, and even Masada. So we're starved for a new IP. So does that make the current legend a legend, or is he just the best option for a new IP in the middle of a drought? You feel me? So what is deserving? What is it? If you're the most successful business in the fucking Great Depression, you feel me? You see what I'm getting at? Can you connect the rest of the dots? Because my brain is shutting down.
Can I, from being on the inside, can I say something to Brian and it might change things?
I don't know if he'll hear you, but please try.
Brian, do you know that the only reason that Akira got into deathmatch wrestling is because Aiden Blackheart was booked on, I guess it was what's the Mexican group? What's the Mexican group down there? You know what I'm talking about.
CMLL?
Sadaka. Deathmatch. What's the Sadaka? Zona?
Zona.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Zona?
Zona.
Okay. Aiden got booked on that. Was supposed to go with another deathmatch guy. That guy backed out. Akira was Aiden Blackheart's student and was like, hey, you want to go down below, down south of the border, get dirty with me? And Akira was like, fuck it.
He was like, sure, I got nothing going for me. I got nothing to live for.
So that put Akira on Danny DeMonto's radar. And when Danny DeMonto got shot out of GCW like a fucking cannon. He's like, oh, I got guys. I got this fucking kid.
Rhinestone Cowboy says, I believe Schlack already knows that he is the face of deathmatch wrestling, and he doesn't have to prove it all the time. So he will let others take shine sometimes, which is classy shit. Right, that.
Let me ask. Oh, I got another thing that's going to be good. So, Ryan, I heard Matt Stryker. Do you know who Matt Stryker is?
He
Ryan?
was a teacher. He was a teacher in my high school.
Yes. So I heard Matt Stryker was like the commentator for this death match thing.
Right.
Ryan, what death match thing have you ever known Matt Stryker to be a part of?
It's funny that you say that because me and Patrick were talking before we went live, and we were talking about how the two guys watching this tournament didn't sound like they've ever seen any death matches in their whole entire lives.
But I feel like if that was true, they would have been more excited, a little bit higher energy.
I think that people did talk a lot of shit about the commentary, but first the commentators weren't even present, so they must have been in America watching it on some screen, and it definitely felt like there was like a disconnect. There was like a disconnect between what was happening.
It's over.
What?
It's over.
I'm just telling you what's happened.
Dude, I didn't even.
I just want to read some of the comments. Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us.
I just want to say that Matt Stryker and that other guy were pretty fucking funny. That they were reacting to death matches, and they've never even like seen the shit happen. And for me, it was kind of fucking funny. And all these people talking shit are just fucking haters. And they
Who
suck
was the
themselves.
other guy, Brian? Who was the other guy?
I don't remember. I just remember Matt Stryker because he was a teacher in my school.
You
I don't remember a lot of things, Larry.
Because that type of shit doesn't matter to you.
Names? I'm not good with names.
Dude,
I work in a building and I don't remember half the tenants' names. I'm not good with names. I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what? Whoever was commentating with Matt Stryker,
watched it once.
They deserved it.
It was fucking funny. And it's, dude, the stream looked and sounded better than the American streams.
Damn, Jerry Lawler, all of the great guys. It doesn't matter, just the voice. It doesn't matter who it is.
It was funny that it was Matt Stryker. He was a teacher at my school.
It makes me laugh.
He was. Matt Stryker was a teacher in Bayside High School.
He was a fucking social studies history teacher. And one time he walked into my classroom singing "He Likes Big Butts and He Cannot Lie" by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
You sat in a classroom with Matt Stryker?
He was the teacher that was next door, dude. And he got fired for being a wrestler.
For being a wrestler, yeah, we know that.
And I'll never forget that.
And by the way, just thank you so much to everybody who tunes in every week, commenting. You guys made 2024 an excellent year. Let me get to some of these comments. People love the Larry Brian arguing segment. That's probably an all-time favorite thing. I mean this not in a laughing at you. I mean this in a laughing with you, having a great time together as a family. People fucking love, myself included, when Larry gets all riled up.
Makes me come.
We love getting Larry all fucking riled up.
Yo, I love Akira. I love Akira. Don't.
I've been a supporter of Akira's from day one. From day one.
I don't.
Fuck the both of you. Your noses are both long as fuck.
You again with the Pinocchio shit. Schlack won 3 already. 22 to 2024, give it to others. Schlack is still number one.
Mickey won one.
I bet
too.
Akira gave a happy ending for that win, says Bren. Yeah, what did he do to actually win the tournament this time? If he rubbed feet just to get there. Somebody else before
Dude,
said
look
that,
at that
I'm sure,
motherfucker.
Somebody else before said that I'm sure that Pondo put in a word for whoever needs to.
He was there. Pondo was actually there too. Pondo wrestled on that show.
Great call out, Pat.
Former guest of this program as well.
Whoever said that.
He was mad that I made fun of. He was very mad that I made that Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
Yeah, Pondo hates us, but he's a pro.
What?
I just could sense that he hates us.
He sat down on 4-4.
He sat
He
down
sat down
on
with the
4-4, talked about his
fucking
gastro.
He wrestled Tar's Hillbilly.
He wrestled Hillbilly for us.
Blvd Bullies extravaganza.
The extravaganza.
Birthday extravaganza.
Bren also goes on to say that Akira blocked him because he asked if he Bren asked Akira if he had autism. Which is very, very funny to me.
Well, you fucking hurt his feelings, Brent.
Wow.
Yeah. So and many people are very upset. Schlack is not
I have a question. Is it rude to assume someone's gender identity? Like if you don't know if someone refers to themselves as he, she, them, or they, and you refer to them as a them, is that kind of rude?
I feel like just the fact that you asked that question probably made Akira offended.
No, I was just asking that because people were talking about Akira, and I saw it in the comments that someone referred to Akira as them. But I've never heard Akira refer to himself and said that he was.
Have you ever heard the story of Bare Naked Ladies? That they named their band Bare Naked Ladies. It's band. They named their band Bare Naked Ladies so that when somebody walked by the marquee, they'd walk in. They'd say like, "Oh, there's going to be Bare Naked Ladies tonight at the show."
It's genius.
So let me just go in and pay my $5, my $10, my $20. Do you think that Akira is having a Bare Naked Ladies effect in Japan because it's considered one of the greatest animes of all time?
Okay, it's very possible.
And then they go, "Oh, he's a wrestler."
But I would feel like that. I mean, he just likes Japanese shit, and that's why he chose that name. And he likes
not
anime.
Making it to at least the second round is just horrible booking. Schlack versus Yusaku Aito would have been sick. Thank you,
Whatever
Chase.
it is, Schlack was in Japan. They flew him out there, and I think that it was sick that all of that American talent was. Larry, I know you don't agree with me, but I think that it was just sick that they went there and did that event. It was still a good event, and it was entertaining to watch them bleed and kill each other. It was entertaining for us. It was still dope. Beastman, dope. Fuck everybody.
Best modern Japanese death match was Masada versus Jun Kasai. I know I say modern. It's probably in like 2004.
That's when they went to face first into the fucking.
Yeah, and he cut himself with the box cutter.
I'll never. Just thinking of his face going into that fucking gusset plate is something I'll never forget.
Yeah,
I was
so
not live.
gross.
I saw clips of it, obviously, because I am a piece of shit, as you will say.
Yeah, because you were getting taught fucking social
because I was
studies by
playing
Matt Stryker at the
breakdowns.
time.
I was playing breakdowns and making people fight.
Yeah, everybody's agreeing that Schlack should go to at least the second round. Who the fuck is Matt Stryker? Lucha Underground.
He was in
Pentagon.
WWE.
Well, all right.
Well, all right then.
So that means nothing now. Now it means nothing to be in WWE. That's not an accomplishment. You suck. Anybody that makes it to WWE has no talent.
Is it true that Matt Stryker would come to your locker after class and groom you, Brian, in high school?
He was never my teacher.
No, but he noticed your little 16-year-old butt.
I mean, I was very noticeable. I used to wear a trench coat and steel-toe boots. Everyone
I
probably thought
got yelled
the
at
cheapest
Outlaw
school up.
Wrestling. Actually, Matt Stryker got me in trouble at Outlaw Wrestling because I was getting laid from the fans more than him, and he was very upset about it because he spends infinite times more money on spray tan than I do, and he didn't like that.
But Pat, he was in WWE.
Right? Yeah. So you can imagine. You can imagine how upset he was.
Yeah, he can do it. He can say he can do whatever he wants in WWE.
What are you
It's so
talking
funny.
about?
Stand-up individual. WWE must hire the most quality individuals of them all.
They hire talented.
WWE?
They hire people with talent. I would say.
He was talking about butts around underage.
You were once performed in a WWE segment, did you not, Larry?
I did. So
Right. So were you not happy to be there?
I didn't know what was going on.
I
Hey,
think you might have been a little happy to be in the.
Yeah, I was happy to be invited.
So,
but
people-
as the Brian, listen to me. I was happy to
And
be
he deserved
invited. But yes, I deserved it. I deserved to be there. I deserved to be there, to be happy to be invited, but to actually not know what was going on around me. Like, to not really understand, like, oh, why do you get the lines and all of these other guys that are with you don't? You know nothing, Brian.
I feel like after this,
I know some things.
It's not-
I know what I know. I
listen,
like what I like.
Listen, I'm
and
a
we are here
Sagittarius, and
because
I'm
this
being
is
really
what we
harsh
do.
with my words. It's not that you don't
well, I
know
mean,
nothing.
I
it's that
think
you
that
have,
after this,
you have a lot to learn. But I feel like that your generation doesn't have the time to learn. You just are all about experience. So, like, you're so quick to be like, this
You
is
just
the
sound
shit.
old. You just
And I'm
sound
like,
old.
yo, if
You
you
just sound like an
actually
old.
live a
we're
little,
all pretty much
you'll
the
see
same
what
age,
the
okay?
fucking shit is.
I would say 5 years is a little is different.
That
like,
is what a
you're
young person would think.
You're my sister's age, and they're old. They
yeah,
have
but
old
your sister's
opinions.
husband made the holiday honey ham.
Yeah, that means he can cook. You can cook.
Hey, speaking of WWE, did you see that Brett Lauderdale was in the suite with, somebody who I don't mind if they perish, Sean Ross Sapp, and the very same fake Nick Gage that interviewed us? Okay.
I think it was a fake Nick Gage.
Let
that
me
was
ask
not Nick
you
Gage
a serious
in that picture.
question. Are there two Nick Gages?
Like the substance?
There might be a substance thing going on. Is Chad Mins old Nick Gage? And then he does like whippets and like puts a beanie on and it's him. Takes out his fake teeth.
I'm not convinced that was Nick Gage.
Saw a picture of Chad Mins. He's wearing like overly ripped jeans. Talk about 2002. Jesus Christ, dude. Get a fucking tailor.
It's cool to have rips in your jeans. He probably paid it. He probably bought it that way.
Yeah, if you're fucking Nick Gage's stunt double. So, Larry, basically our prediction, because, Larry and I have been around so much toxicity that we can read the tea leaves. And I could have bet you $1,000 that Nick Gage was going to be in that box with Brett Lauderdale. And I bet you $1,000 that if Nick Gage wasn't there, they wouldn't have even had a little family photo. Because all Brett Lauderdale cares about is internet perception of his 5,000 fans.
Well, speaking of Brett Lauderdale, there's actually a GCW event taking place as we speak now.
I know. They started moving their events to Tuesday, 7 to 9 to go up to try to kill our viewership. It's crazy.
Right, it started till infinity. We're gonna see how their attendance looks.
All right, check in for me, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Jesus
they're probably,
Christ!
You know.
It looks
who's
like
done
they're
the traditional-
at the low attendance pavilion.
Oh, every fluorescent light in the building on? Love that. Love that.
There's
Oh, Tony Deppen. Love Tony Deppen, though. Stand-up guy, good guy. Love him.
I feel like
Did you
he's
see that
made
Tony
some
Deppen got
disparaging
choke-slammed
comments to me.
by the lead singer of the Front Bottoms? The Front Bottoms played great fucking band. GCW fan and supporter. And Tony Deppen got choke-slammed live on stage by the lead singer of the Front Bottoms. That's a nice little fun fact for you.
Well, I think we have about maybe almost the same amount of people listening to this show attending the GCW event right now.
Just stop it, Brian. Just stop it.
saying.
You saw Stephanie McMahon gave Brett
Dr.
Lauderdale a
Redacted.
luxury box.
Is Emil the announcer?
I don't know. Should I put up the volume?
I mean, you can tell me if he's like announcing. I don't care about the commentary. I'm talking about the announcing.
Yeah, if it's not Matt Stryker, who gives
I
a
can't
fuck?
hear him. I can't hear because I have these things on.
Hey, speaking
I
of
don't care about the commentary. I talk about the announcer.
Yes,
who's
it's 100%
in there,
MLJ.
he's bringing the guys out. It's
You know,
MLJ?
after this most recent exchange between Brian and Larry, I think there's only one thing left for Brian to do in the new year, and that's to book a King of the Deathmatch tournament.
Well, I think as my New Year's resolution is I'm going to spend way less money, and my actual resolution is to attend Tournament of Death this year in person, so you two can shut the fuck up. So that's my New
Brian,
Year's
you've
resolution.
never been to a tournament of death?
No, we've had this discussion. I've never been to a Tournament of Death.
Never even been.
The first
I
death
just
match,
like,
the first death match I ever
hearing
went.
you say it. I just like hearing you say it, so that everybody can just shut every fucking thing down that you have to say.
Brian
'cause
and
bitch,
Akira
you
started
and
at the same
I
everybody
time.
think
gives a
that's
shit,
absolutely
bro.
ridiculous that you think that just because I wasn't there live, I'm not allowed to have an opinion about the things that happen. I think that's a silly, ignorant thing to say, Larry.
It's not that you're not allowed to have an opinion, Brian. It's not that you're not allowed to have an opinion.
It's just
You're
that it
allowed.
sucks.
You're allowed to be
It's that you don't-
snarky.
it's
You're
that-
allowed to be snarky and think that you're the wisest man, and think that my opinion is
Well, what
silly.
are we? Are
and
we
means
old,
nothing.
or
but
like
it
if we're
means
old,
things-
we're
it's
wise.
not other people.
silly.
If
It's
we're old,
not-
we're wise.
It's not silly, Brian. Brian.
That's your opinion.
I
You can
cannot
say it's not
let it
silly.
go. Brian, as an OG, I cannot let it go unchecked. You don't understand that because you're on your way to being an OG. But as an OG, I cannot let you sharing your opinion on this platform that I'm on, that granted you brought me onto, without it being checked by someone that was there.
I'm merely a fan, Larry. What? So
Ryan,
people,
you are
no,
far more than a
people
fan.
that-
You kill
no.
companies. You kill careers. You excommunicate people from the bullies that you weren't even a part of until a couple years ago.
What do you mean I excommunicate?
Don't
I
be
excommunicate
like
who I
I'm
want to
just a
excommunicate.
fan.
I can
You're way more than a
excommunicate.
fan. You're on XPW stream with your wife doing the fucking video game shit. That ain't no fan. That ain't Andy Lawler. That ain't Tony Norman.
I
That ain't
get
Micah
paid for
Silva.
not
That
one
ain't
thing.
Joe Beisler.
I've never been paid by one
It
person.
doesn't matter.
Yes, it matters.
That doesn't matter.
Matters.
Bro, again, what we just said about you being like, he was the WWE, right? So WWE people get paid,
Right.
But that doesn't mean that they deserve to be there.
Yes, it does.
I'm the one that deserves to be there. I'm the one that deserves the Matt Stryker pay. But you're up here talking to me about how Matt Stryker was funny because he was the WWE.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Larry.
I know
because
you don't. I know you don't, Brian.
Larry has been holding this in for the entire year, and it's just anti-Brian Day.
saying,
And how
bro,
dare
I'm
you,
not
Larry,
gonna
on
let
the
you
seventh
go
night of
unchecked.
Hanukkah?
Both
Shit that
just
you
angry.
say
You're
on the
angry that I
platform
think
I'm
the way I
on
think.
that fucking like it's not meritorious.
You're just
It's
rude.
not meritorious, Brian.
What is not meritorious?
You have never been to a tournament of death.
Who gives a fuck?
And if you go now, it's already too late,
Yeah, but
Brian.
nobody else does. Oh, no, you give a fuck. So what does that mean?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say something about it, Brian.
You can say whatever you want.
And I will.
And I'll say whatever I
And
want
I
back.
will.
You can say it. I want you to say it.
I will, and I do.
And I say what I say. I will
Yes,
continue.
so we'll
and I-
just be two saying what we say, motherfucker.
All right, let's
But
just
bro,
agree.
Listen. If this is the most popular part of the show, it's not just because I'm going off. It's because motherfuckers know that I'm speaking the goddamn motherfucking truth.
Well,
'Cause
somebody
I'm the
did
Hall
say.
of Famer.
Somebody
Not
did
everybody's
say.
just calling me a stupid idiot asshole that shouldn't be talking. There's people that agree with what I say too, Larry.
Happy
Because
Festivus.
Not the whole world agrees with you. Just because Patrick agrees, it's 2 against 1. This is a biased show.
I'm
No,
not
it's
unbiased.
not.
I'm calling it right down the
it's
middle.
Not.
Oh yeah,
I'm
your
calling it right down
father.
the middle.
It's your father.
Yeah, because I've known him. We're the duo.
Right,
We're
it's
the
the
duo. You
duo.
sit in our
Hey,
fucking
look,
orbit.
It's a biased show. Biased show. I'm always going to think what I think and say what I say, and I don't give a shit.
Hey,
Listen, everything's
hey,
cool
that's
unless.
why we have you. That's why you're here.
Okay, all right.
Oh, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, because you're like us.
I
You're like
understand.
us.
That's why
gonna
you're
say
here.
What the fuck you want
That's
to say?
why you're
and you don't
here,
give a
Larry.
That's
fuck.
why I'm
Yes,
here too. That's why I'm here too.
Exactly.
We are getting some
Exactly.
we are getting some pro Brian comments in the chat that says, Brian, don't forget to check in with Larry before you have any type of opinion. Which I think is a little bit of a
Grandfather
sarcastic.
Larry. Grandfather Larry, I will check in. Is that what you want? I won't. I won't.
Hey, I just want to say, as long as Brian checks in with Larry before he forms any kind of opinion, and as long as Larry can air all of his grievances
Bro,
on the
everybody
final
can share
show
their
of the year,
opinion.
I think the ship will run fine.
Everybody can share their opinion.
We're allowed to get mad. I am a Jew,
I'm not
and
mad.
I will argue till I'm dead.
Right.
with
Okay.
my
So we
family.
spoke about this. We spoke about this. So
We're brothers.
we ended Brian's last show 2 weeks ago. We ended with me and Brian having a similar fucking screaming match in which I was forced to drag my favorite wrestler Akira's name through the mud
Boars.
because of Brian's argumentative
What?
nature. And I actually mentioned it. I'm sure you were watching while you were eating your holiday fucking honey ham. That I said that the way that you excused yourself is you sent me a 15-minute speech by Liv Schreiber at some Jewish award ceremony in which
That was
I
great
watched that shit for
speech.
10 minutes figuring out what is this guy trying to tell me?
That was a great speech. Jews love arguing.
Right. So basically
Shout out
he
Leave.
just gave himself a pass by sending me a
Shout out, Leave. I don't.
Great actor. Get the fuck out of town.
Oh, what's your favorite fucking Leave movie?
X-Men.
I'm sure you were going to say that because you don't know anything about Liev Schreiber.
Why is that not to be allowed? Why is that not allowed to be my
Oh, you
favorite
mean the
show?
worst?
This is
The
bro.
worst
Don't even
fuck
say
outta
it,
here.
no, bro.
Of all time? The
He doesn't-
worst
he
X-Men
doesn't know.
movie of
Um,
all time?
listen,
Liv
listen.
Schreiber
First one?
with the
No,
bang
it's
coat?
First of all,
happen to
The
him.
first X-Men movie
Bro,
is
it's gonna
legendary,
happen to
and
you,
you can
Brian,
go
eventually.
fuck yourself for saying it's the worst one. That's one of the best X-Men movies ever.
You
the
weren't
first
even
X-Men.
born.
I saw it in the movie theater. My dead father, took me to that movie at midnight before I was supposed to go to school.
And Matt Stryker knew.
I used to go to all the Marvel movies before they at midnight. God damn it! That movie came out in fucking 2010.
I'm exhausted. Hey, let's get to...
Yeah, it's a lot. Brian takes a lot.
I don't give a shit.
No,
I
it's
know.
because I'm malnourished. It has nothing to do with you or Brian. It's just because I need to eat.
You should have ate.
Hey,
You should have stuffed
speaking
your
of
face.
2024 highlights, let's get to really the unsung hero of 2024 on this Blvd Bullies podcast, on this Versus the World party. A man who is so much smarter than us. He doesn't roll his sleeves up, roll his pants up, get down in the mud and scream with us. He's got 8 kids. He knows better. He sends a
Yes,
video every
yes.
week and just stays out of it. And it's brilliant because we can't argue over him. We can't interrupt him. He sends a
Let's get to
clip
them segments.
every week, and it has been a great addition. Sean down, Rhinestone up. Let's get to the final thoughts of a cowboy of 2024.
Let me turn my damn heater down. It's Tuesday. It's New Year's Eve. Holy fucking shit-toe. It's New Year's Eve. It's Blvd Bullies. It's Thoughts of a Cowboy. The national championship game of professional deathmatch wrestling is taking place in Japan. Looks like a good time. A lot of people are bitching about old Matt Stryker there. Stryker is not liked in commentary. He sucks ass. That's what everybody says. He's really bad. he's as bad as Kevin Gill. I don't have a problem with Kevin Gill. I think he's a classy guy, and I like him. He's got a long head, and I think it's fantastic. But anyways, national championship game. Let's see who wins at the Big Japan Pro Wrestling Global Deathmatch National Championship game. It's going to be a good time. It's all about hookers and blow for New Year's. That's what it's about, hookers and blow. And the cowboy, the stoned one, is going to do his damn thing. 2025. See you later, fuckers. We're going to kick ass in the new year. I'm fucking out of here. Car promo finished.
We'll see what they do.
We're
We're with Sir Wilkins.
back. Shout out. I don't know what you were saying. I wasn't listening to you. I'm just gonna gloss over that. Shout out Rhinestone. Cut a car promo this week. Said Japan. And I really like how he called the BJW Global fucking Deathmatch thing the National Championship of Deathmatch Wrestling. He just started talking about it like it was a sports game. Another highlight, and Larry, I don't know if you're going to co-sign on this, but I fucking love when somebody dumps on Kevin Gill. He said that Matt Striker was worse than 100-year-old Count Orlok, star of Nosferatu himself, Kevin Gill. But then he went on to say, Larry, Kevin Gill's a great guy. He just has an extremely long head. Thoughts?
I think that Kevin Gill has an extremely long head and also is on par with Matt Striker on commentary. That's
Yeah,
my
I mean,
ridiculous, unappreciated, undervalued, shit on opinion.
Did you guys not think it was funny that I was topical and said that Kevin Gill's the star of Nosferatu? I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Great movie.
Just think about it.
Pat, I just went to see it last Thursday night.
Oh, you
I
saw
just
it?
went to
You
see
seen
in
it?
the theaters
You saw
last
it?
Thursday night. Yeah.
Tell me,
I
I
saw it.
need a Nosferatu review right now. Is it a masterpiece or is it boring? Is it slower than The Vitch?
I feel like some way this is going to be turned into talking shit about me, and I'm not
Well,
even going to
don't
say
you?
anything.
You keep your fucking X-Men bullshit to yourself, Brian,
Emotionally connected to that movie.
with your John Cena t-shirt.
Akira.
You know, it's very faster than the Vitch. And although it is hard to understand, it is easier to understand than the Vitch.
I feel like this guy, Robert Eggers, loves using ancient dialect that is English to the ear, but you don't understand what anybody's saying.
Yeah, me and the individual that I saw with both said, well,
Your
I can't wait
brother.
to see it again. I can't wait to see it again with the subtitles. We both said the same thing at the end of the movie. Visually, brilliant.
Kevin
Much
Gill
like-
was around for the original.
Leave KG alone. Visually brilliant, much like the new Beetlejuice that I watched on the flight over to LA. Willem Dafoe is worth the fucking time.
So you liked Beetlejuice. Did you like Beetlejuice the story?
I liked it, Brian, because I was on a plane.
But no, see, don't just shut the fuck up, Larry. Don't look at the camera with your little
Don't
dog
give us
puppy
that.
eyes. Don't look with your puppy eyes. That was a good story. You would have liked it even if you saw it in the movie theater.
No, he's saying it's a
You would have
plane movie.
enjoyed it.
It's a plane
I'm
movie.
saying if I would have made the effort to
You're a
get
hater. Now you're a hater.
tickets, a date, get excited, sit through the previews.
That's the best part of the movie. The previews. For the
I
next
was saying
one.
at the end of it, number one, I really liked the way that they did Jeffrey Jones's absence.
Loved
I
it.
thought they did that very well. Once I saw the entire scope of how he was featured, but not,
It was basically all about him.
I loved it. And I loved seeing Catherine O'Hara. And much like I loved seeing Willem Dafoe in Nosferatu, these two legends just ate up the whole fucking camera every time they were just there. So for Willem Dafoe and Catherine O'Hara, two of the legends, I definitely recommend both those movies.
I think Brian just thought it was called Beetlejuice, so he was like, he wanted to like it more.
God damn it, I hate you guys. Beetlejuice was one of my favorite movies growing up because my dead uncle showed me that movie. We rented it from Blockbusters, put it on the VHS, and I loved the original Tim Burton Beetlejuice.
Truth Seek, and by the way, Truth Seek, shout out, you're a valued new member of the community, and always seeking and spitting truth says, listen, Cliff Notes, Brian had the same exact take on Beetlejuice 2 that Larry had a few weeks ago, and Larry buried him for it.
It's true. Thank you, Truth Seek. I appreciate the watch and the support.
So, hey, look.
Happy Hanukkah.
Larry, don't you give us those eyes. Don't you give us those fucking Manson lamps. By the way,
hold on, wait a minute. Can I talk to Truth Seek?
Please
Can I
address
talk
him
to
directly.
Truth Seek?
Yes.
Look, man, I did not seek out this film.
Don't assume his gender.
I did not go out of my way to view it and enjoy it. Okay? I heard about it on this shit, our podcast, and I was on a flight and I had nothing better to do. My book, I didn't pull out because I was tired. I should have pulled out my book, but I watched it.
It was
and
worth
for watching it on a plane to LA,
Yeah.
it was great.
You were like, huh?
It was great.
Could have sucked.
It
could have sucked.
But listen, I'm not downloading this shit on my fucking shit. I'm not buying, I know physical media is not a shit anymore, but I'm not going to get the DVD to rewatch or anything like that.
You would never rewatch it again.
No.
Never ever.
No.
I'm probably never going to watch it, period.
No.
I think that you're saying that just for this podcast.
No.
How dare you, Brian?
I still have the original Beetlejuice on VHS.
Nice
I still
fucking
have the
model.
original Beetlejuice on DVD, and I will watch those shits over and over again. But the new Wednesday Addams.
I love
the new Wednesday Addams Beetlejuice because we understand how
the new
this
Wednesday
shit works.
Addams' name might as well be Art the Clown or Akira for all I fucking care.
Truth Seek. Yeah, it was a great story. It had me entertained for the plane.
Okay, so Larry, let me ask you this:
in life, it had you entertained in your being in life because you could have just turned that shit right off. If that shit sucked, you could have been like,
seeking it out, Brian. And guess what? Right after I watched it, because I traveled on Friday the 13th, I put on Sean S. Cunningham's original Friday the 13th, starring Betsy fucking Palmer.
Well, you know what?
Just to
Betsy
watch
fucking
myself
Palmer.
of some shit that I actually wanted to seek out.
You're
Betsy
an
fucking
old man,
Palmer.
and you
Betsy.
connect with that movie just like I'm a young boy, and I connect with X-Men 1 because I saw that in the movies with my dead fucking
that's
father.
because you have autism
So
like Akira.
we connect with different fucking things. I think that you have autism.
Listen,
Larry, let me ask you a question.
Having autism isn't even a bad thing. Some people with autism are very, very smart. You are You're Patrick's most likely highly autistic.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm way too lazy to be autistic.
Some autistic people are very lazy.
I'm a little spacey, yeah. I'm like spacey autism.
Come on, let's not make generalizations over here about what autistic people are or aren't.
Yeah, let's
people do that with Jews all the time.
I don't.
Not you, but people in general.
Hey, Larry.
Well, we're not people.
Hey,
we're the
Larry.
Boulevard Bullies.
We're all people.
Hey, Larry.
We are all people, but we're above. We're the Boulevard Bullies. Act like it.
I always do.
Try to act like. Try to.
I don't know.
Hey, Larry.
You're like Seth Rollins. You're like Seth Rollins. Last night,
you see that Seth Rollins promo against fucking CM
That's a
Punk
new one.
when he
Rollins
burned
is
his
good.
goddamn
That's
ass?
what you're like. You're like Seth Rollins.
I'm very happy to
see CM Punk. That that's what you're like.
He spoke the truth. He speaks the truth.
It's true because I feel like Brian, if he had to choose, he would be Team Rollins over CM Punk, and us elder.
I was there. Okay, let's talk about being live. I was there live at that ECW show when CM Punk debuted for WWE.
That wasn't an ECW show, Brian. Newsflash.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So stop
Newsflash.
being old.
The movie
It
you
wasn't
watched wasn't
ECW.
X-Men.
We were literally there booing the Big Show and Batista. I
Oh
was
yeah,
there,
Big Show,
and it was
Batista, and CM Punk at an
legendary.
ECW show. Okay,
Right,
all
we
right.
booed him. We
Okay.
booed him. We
Okay.
said, "Get the fuck out."
Okay.
That
All
we
right.
said.
Okay.
I was there. I was very young boy. I'm 5 years younger than you
I
are.
was
old
at
man.
Brian,
You old
okay, Pat,
fucks
don't.
need to realize that me being younger doesn't mean that you're the better and
It does.
smarter
That's exactly what it means.
humans.
Hey,
No, that's
you know what's really
you're
funny?
Just ignorant and think you're smarter, and it's not true.
So I never went
Right.
to 2300. I never went to Swanson and Rittner as an ECW fan. Never been in that building when ECW performed. My first and only, well, was it my only? I don't remember. You know, I can't even remember what happened this year, so what the fuck do I know? But on my birthday, 12/15/2000, the year I graduated high school. What was it, high school? Yeah. The year I graduated, no. I don't remember.
82.
But the point is, yeah, I'm almost as old as Kevin Gill. But I was at the Dudley Boys, and Taz had been signed to WWE. And they did
I know the show.
They did
I know that
one-night
Brian
only,
doesn't know the show. Brian has no clue what you're
They
talking
did a
about.
one-night only 12/15/2000, and it was Tommy Dreamer.
That must
and
mean
the
I don't
Dudley
know
Boys.
anything ever.
What?
That just Larry said I don't know what you're talking about.
All
So
right,
that
all
just
right.
must
But
that
what I'm
must
saying
mean
is,
I
my
don't
point
know
is that-
anything.
My point is that that was like my number one ECW show. Elks Lodge, the Taz
I know what
and
I
the
know.
Dudley Boys had already gone
I
to
know
the
what
E.
I like.
I know you do, but your scope.
And the
Your
thing
scope.
is that I am like
I think
ashamed.
we all might
like
be a
I
little
would be
scope.
ashamed to bring up to an elder hardcore that my one and only ECW show. Like, okay, in generalities, I would say to like an old school ECW fan, like, yeah, you know, I was a fan from back in the day, and I went to the Elks Lodge. I saw ECW at the Elks Lodge.
That doesn't make you cool, bro.
That
That makes you
sentence-
sound old and stupid because you think that makes you
How?
better than someone that didn't go there.
Well,
It's
you
not
didn't
about
let me
sounding
finish,
cool.
dude. You didn't
It's
let me
not about
finish,
sounding
X-Man.
cool.
That's exactly what
It's
it
not about
sounds like.
sounding cool.
That's
You
exactly
didn't let
what
me
it
finish,
sounds like.
Live Shriver. Okay, look, I was just saying that, like, to say that in generalities, it sounds cool in my old mind. But if I was to actually talk to an ECW fan of my own age, I would be embarrassed to say that my one and only, or what my main memory of ECW was in 2000. Like, I didn't see Taz when he was ECW. I saw Taz come out to the fucking WWE music at an ECW show. To me, that makes me feel dirty. That makes me feel like a poser. And the fact that Brian can proudly say that he was at an ECW show with Bobby Lashley on it makes my fucking skin crawl.
I think that makes you fucking stupid.
Well, you know what?
Hold
you know I
on.
got a touch of the
Hold
tism.
on. Hold on. Hold on. All I'm going to say is I think Pat laid it on a little thick there. Everybody.
Well, I have to keep repeating everything I'm saying because you guys are still arguing. I could have done that whole comment in 10 seconds. If you guys just shut the fuck up.
Everybody starts somewhere, and Brian has started where he started. But all I'm going to say is eventually there will be a time, Brian, where you or me, and there's going to be a Brian. that
Me and
you're
Larry will be
encountering.
long dead, and
That
Kevin
you're-
Gill
that
will
you're
still
like-
be
you're like-
old.
I'm just saying, you will be the old one, God willing, and
I'm
will,
going- I mean,
and
right.
then you will be like, oh, this is what Larry was saying.
When I'm
He's not
old,
trying to sound
I'm
like
most
he's
likely going to call myself old because I'll know that I'm old now.
How old are you? 36?
I'm 34,
Wow, that is pretty young.
and that is still young. You were 34 6 years ago.
I'm gonna kill
So,
you. I'm gonna
then
fucking
you
kill
were
you.
young.
It was 5
Now
years
you're
ago.
old.
It was 5 years ago.
Just saying.
It's
I
obvious. It's
know
obvious to
reality.
me that Matt Stryker has poisoned your brain at a
Matt
very young
Stryker is funny as fuck. And if you don't see that, then you guys are haters.
age. Kevin Gill is Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul. I got fired from Outlaw because on this very program I made a joke that Vinny Stigma and Kevin Gill went to grade school together in 1912.
I think that's a lot. Your just nose keeps growing. That's not why you got fired.
Well, I got fired because I had a generally bad attitude, but then that was the nail in the coffin.
You also didn't like being paid in McDonald's.
I also didn't like being
Since
paid in
Brian
McDonald's.
wants to
Although
bring
I
up
do
pay,
find
having
McDonald's
That
never
would be
been
more of
paid.
a
So
quit.
means
That would be more than
you
of a
don't have
quit
any
than a
influence if
fire.
you've never been paid,
That would be more than a
right?
quit than a fire.
Well, I definitely got fired, but I think that my
you didn't care that you got fired.
Yeah, my care about keeping my job got to a very low point, in which case I was just kind of like spewing, talking shit.
Right.
And
the
the one
Blvd
show,
Bully way.
by the way, the one show, the NWA
Right.
crossover show with like 20 people in it, at the end of the show, I looked every single person. This is
You counted. You thanked them.
actually, I'm very proud of this. As I'm saying this, I'm glowing with pride. I looked every single person in the eye and thanked them for coming to close the show. I said, "Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, sir. Thank you, man.
I remember it.
Thank you." And I just think that that's hilarious. But yeah, and then the next week I said that Kevin Gill and Vinny Stigma went to school together before paper was invented. And then I was sent a screen recording of that. Now that I think about it, who screen recorded that? Maybe the very man who took my job.
I might have gave you that thought.
Hey, let's get to the end of 2024. Lists and awards. Larry, what was your favorite moment professionally in this past year of 2024? Raza Gill is the funniest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. Because he don't age, or he does age, just don't die. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry.
Who's Raza Gill?
You don't like
Ra's al
Marvel?
Ghul is like the fucking Batman villain who like has ancient,
What's DC?
I know Ra's al Ghul.
eternal life.
Who's Raza Gill? Oh,
Ra's al
okay.
Ghul, Ra's al Ghil. You get it?
Raza Gill. Yeah.
Hilarious. Hey, that's a little 7 commentary nugget for you. Bust it out on him. Hit him when he's least suspecting it. Star of the original Nosferatu.
No. My
Sucks
moment of
because Kevin Gill's
2020
like only 2 years older than me.
my moment of 2024 was
I'm just kidding. He's
I
fucking
just actually-
88.
I'm serious that you don't want me to say anything.
No, please, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just on a branch. Larry. Please.
We always branch on Blvd Bullies versus the world. Brian, what was your moment of 2024?
Wait a second, Larry. You can't. You don't defer to Brian.
I can do what I want to do.
Okay, but can we circle back?
Facts.
Can we circle back and touch
Yeah.
base?
How
we
rude.
can, but let's hear from Brian because I'm not going to interrupt him. Brian, what was your moment of
I'm gonna.
2024?
My moment of
saying.
2024 is going to be why I'm a little perturbed with our fucking Bull of the Wood jobber radio, because my moment of the year would be the Eat the Turnbuckle birthday Blvd Bully extravaganza that was not even mentioned on his list. That event and match was not only sold out, but it was insane and hosted by Larry Legend.
You should go to me now. Go to me now. Because I just want to say my event of 2024 was not necessarily that show, Brian, but it was me and Ron Nemi arriving at whatever that hotel was that WrestleCon was at and doing this kind of like whirlwind, hi, everybody, because we were advertised for it, but actually we were advertised for the next day. But we thought we were supposed to be there that Thursday, but we weren't. And me and Ron just did like a whirlwind tour of a who's who, and we ended up having brunch with Todd Gordon, Fonzie, and Jasmine St. Clair. And it was all just by like us not knowing what the fuck was going on. That's my moment in 2024. Pat!
You know I have a terrible memory, Larry.
I know.
I have a terrible, terrible memory. But I think that my favorite moment of 2024, now that, and just because we're talking about underground arts, talking about our Philly trip, you just mentioned Ron Nemi. I think the birth of Saratoga Springs sparkling water and our threesome pizza date that we had down the block, that's definitely up there for me, Larry. I really like that. And you know what else? I was so proud of the way that Sean and Brian handled their business in the whole XPW thing. I was so proud because you remember the year prior, I had a significant other in my life that fucking hated Versus the World. Hated it.
Quite aware.
And if you remember, now look, I'm a lazy, spacey, autistic fuck.
You made me destroy my studio.
You made you destroy your studio.
Yes, dude, you made me fucking destroy my studio listening to you cry.
And you've never broadcast from there again. But if you remember the first backyard BBQ, I was a little detached because I was just so fucking stressed out about it. So I don't think like the details of it were hammered out properly. And you know me, I'm a procrastinator. I'm usually late to the party. I like to call it on show day, I don't have a whole notebook full of thoughts like some kind of fucking mark. But I could call it. I could feel it out and call it when we get there and like really feel it out. And that first time that we did it 2 years ago, I was like absent. And look, I lead in different ways. And sometimes the spirit has to move me and capture me. And, Sean's criticisms of me as he stormed off the show for the final time are not untrue. When Brian gets really mad at me and I hit a nerve, he says the same thing. That I suck at being the leader. And you know what? Hey, sidebar, resolution time. I'm going to be a better leader.
Never lied.
However, just watching Sean and Brian meet up privately with Vincent Dudes and do the promos, and even you remember, Brian, the night of Extreme Arts, ETT, I even had a heart-to-heart with you. I said, Brian, you were right, I was wrong.
Successful night.
And I tried to be more involved, at least in behind the scenes, with like the little details, because I'm a little fucking crazy person about the details of things.
Neurotic.
I'm a little neurotic about it. I think with good cause, but watching Sean and Brian do their thing in the ring, like the steps and logic and care that we took in the little feud that we had, and, it was just a silly little storyline. We're not reinventing the wheel, but it was just fun. It was just really fun, and I was so fucking proud of those guys. I was so proud. And what did I tell you, Brian? I said, I guarantee you that Kit Osborne is going to throw something out of left field to you. Be ready for it. And you took the DDT so perfectly. And seeing
they clapped, and we got an XP dub chant.
And just seeing you guys do your thing was a very proud and beautiful moment to me. And of course, I have to say, definitely professionally, besides doing the show every week, which is a joy in my life, having the foresight and brain power to... Now, look, I wasn't a choice to do XPW commentary. I wasn't even in the conversation. I wasn't even in Rob's mind. But literally everybody else was fucked. Larry was running late. And, double duty, is not easy. So I just
Legendary.
think that...
I didn't know what time the show started. I didn't know this show started at 4.
Well, I'm just
saying. And then it was like at 8 o'clock.
Cemented in history. You're cemented in history
I'm just
alongside
saying that
the
it was a
Necro
very...
the tech issues were so fucked that it didn't matter that me and Kid Nixon got there at 5:30 because we weren't ready to go.
No, we were all fucked
until about 6:30.
But what I'm saying, and Larry, I wasn't shade on you. I'm just trying to paint the picture.
I'm just saying too.
And there was literally nobody else. And of course, Sean's sitting there with like Akira anime eyes, pick me, pick me. And Rob goes, nah, Pat, yo, you're going to do the thing. And I was so cracked out, fucked up, not mentally prepared. I need 24 hours notice. But I'm so proud that I knew to tap Necro and be like, listen. And I went over to him privately, and I said, hey, I really want you to do this with me. I think it's going to be great. And you know what? Fuck that. My highlight was pushing him around on that show in his wheelchair. And he went out and like spoke to the fans, and just spending time with Necro was like definitely the highlight. And I'm very
it's
proud
literally
of
on
myself.
a DVD. It's a DVD that's cemented in history.
I'm
You're going to be
very,
on that
very
DVD forever.
proud of myself that I had the vision to
You're
wheel
welcome.
his fucking ass over to the table. And I mean, I haven't listened back to that commentary. I don't think I ever will. I don't think that I would be proud of the...
And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't.
I don't think I would be proud of the actual commentary, but I'm proud that I was involved. I'm proud that I feel like maybe not like on a macro level, but at least for that night, I had Necro's love and respect and trust and friendship. I feel like he likes me, even still to this day. And that is not only the proudest moment of my year doing commentary. And you know that photo? There's one photo where me and him just look like we are in love. And that's the proudest moment of 2024 to me. Sorry to meander and make it all dramatic and long.
It's okay, but you know who has that same, probably similar feeling? The man who rubbed his feet, Akira. Probably feels the same because he got the rub from the man himself, the Necro Butcher. So fuck all you.
This guy's pissing. And I remember who's the legal man as well.
Brian,
Oh
for
man.
that BJW King of the Deathmatch tournament, was Abdullah Kobayashi in it?
He was in the non-tournament.
Okay.
Yo, and you know what? I'm not done. I'm not done talking about Necro.
Good.
I just want to say that when Brian was still getting molested by Matt Stryker in Bayside High School, I was watching Necro Butcher YouTube clips.
Well, you know what? You talk shit about me not going to Tournament of Death, but you wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to work with the Necro Butcher
You're right.
if it wasn't for me.
I am not.
So suck my goddamn dick.
I'm not the one yelling at you.
You would talk shit about my opinions and tell me I don't know shit because I
know
wasn't
that's
at
Larry.
Tournament of
Larry's
Death.
doing that.
You did it with him. You're his tag team partner.
No,
his son.
I only
You're
have
his son.
specific opinions of yours that I hate. Not
It's
all
very
of them
similar.
like Larry.
Very similar.
I don't hate
And-
that you have opinions. I just hate your opinions. Larry hates that you have them.
Disrespect.
Totally different.
It's
Totally
the disrespect.
Brian, didn't I fucking thank you? Wasn't I benevolent? And fucking was like, Brian, thank you so much for everything you've done. That was a dream. And that's what I was trying to say. Is that
No, now you said it.
Well, you were fucking
Also-
watching X-Men sitting on a fucking phone book in the movie theater.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
watching
fucking 5 years younger than you.
I was watching Necro Butcher. I was there for Necro Butcher's fucking filming of The Wrestler. I think that if I had to name...
Me too.
Of course you were there,
You're
Larry.
welcome
And
for
if I
getting
had
the
to
Necro
name my
Butcher on this
favorite-
very show.
My very, very, very favorite, definitely deathmatch wrestler, if not maybe on my all-time Mount Rushmore, I fucking love the Necro Butcher. And those nights in the hotel room where he's holding court have been a fucking... That was this year as well. It was a delight and a fucking pleasure.
First time might have been November. The first time ever
Oh,
with
maybe
Necro
it might have been November. Was
the drive-in massacre.
But it
with-
was
yeah.
and when
That
I
was the
think
first.
back and when I try to really put a like look at it all in a year,
Mhm.
I really, really, of course, enjoy our time together when we were all at Underground and all the things that we did this year and the show. But I really enjoyed spending time with and chatting with Necro Butcher about St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
That was his one requirement to get on the
making
show.
fun
was
of
to get
Jimmy
him a minor league
Controversy
baseball.
together. You know, like I feel like I'm in love with the Necro Butcher, and I got to wheel him around and like be of service to him in whatever way I could, and I'm so fucking proud and happy that we got to do the commentary on the thing. And by the way, Larry, what did I do at the end? What did I do for the main? I said, nah, Larry and Necro, selflessly. And would our old friend who stole my fucking job have done that? or would even put a stranglehold on it because of his tiny little dick.
No, see, the snaky
ringside
snake stole the commentary at Drive-In Massacre. Remember?
Right.
He did the main event.
Well, Larry egged him on a little bit. Look at those eyes. Look at that look.
Larry egged on. He was egging. He wanted. I know that Larry wanted you to do it.
It's
I know
all
Larry
wrong.
wanted you
It's
to do
all
it.
wrong. But you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear from me. You don't want to hear from me. Pat, you thought that my voice was going to be tired from having done A Matter of Pride in Brooklyn and then riding on out to Newark and doing XPW.
I didn't think
you were on deck, Pat, because you thought that your dad's voice was going to be tired from doing A Matter of Pride in Brooklyn and then bopping on over to Newark.
I
to do
didn't think that.
XPW.
I was just giving Dad options.
But Pat, the month before, 2 months before, wasn't
voice
there
was
some sort
tired.
of wasn't there some sort of conversation with me and Rob Black about like, oh, which of the Boulevard Bullies can do the commentary with you? Which one of them can do it with you? And Pat, you had stayed up all night.
With Necro.
Or I don't know.
It was with Hillbilly. It was with Hillbilly and
Oh, that's
Homeless
right.
Jimmy.
That's right. You know what? That's
It was Homeless Jimmy and
that's
Hillbilly.
another
Jimmy is
honorable
who it was.
mention.
It was
I'm really
Homeless
thankful
Jimmy.
that I got to
Pat,
Shout out
bond and
Homeless
get to know
Jimmy,
Homeless
top
Jimmy.
tier
Pat,
Jew.
and guess what?
Top
and guess
tier
what?
Jew.
And guess what?
What?
My voice did give out on that show where you were feeling like you weren't up to par. And I said, Sean, do it.
Yes.
I can't
You
do
know
it
what? That
anymore.
is true. But you know what, Larry? I'm going to swing it back around, pat my own self on the back again, because you know what? I had the presence of mind to know that I didn't deserve it.
You
That
say
I
that about
stayed up all night.
Just because you're a negative person and don't think you deserve anything
No, because
ever.
it's self-awareness.
Oh,
It's self-awareness. Not
Oh,
every
you-
opportunity needs to be captured, killed, and cataloged for your own fucking ego.
Hmm.
Unlike the bridges that we've burned, guess what all those motherfuckers have in common? There is not one fucking chicken nugget that they will not eat.
What does that have to do with Akira?
He sucks too.
No, I don't think he does suck. I think I disagree with you.
Fuck
And
him.
what you're saying is wrong. I know where
See
you're.
what I'm saying? So,
I
Larry,
agree with.
I'm actually gonna
There's
suck my
there's
own cock one more time around.
See, this
and
is
say, you
this
know
is
what?
all you're
that
doing.
morning.
This is you having an ego. You goddamn hypocrite. Hypocrite.
Yo, self-awareness and
Sucking
ego
your
are
own
two different
dick.
fucking muscles in the brain.
Oh,
all right?
Jesus Christ. Your muscles are fucking stupid.
I know they're atrophying. I'm old.
Brian.
Not good. Not good.
I
Yo,
don't
shout
like
out
this
I
kind
Got
of
Character,
talk.
Elder Bullies member. Love you. Happy New Year, dog. Welcome to the party. True Seek dropping the Sean emotes in the chat. Love it.
I said we should have had him as a guest.
Yo, that would have been awesome. Yeah, you know, and once again, I dropped the ball on the big end of year guest. But hey, resolution time.
I tried to.
Maybe next year I won't fuck it up. But
TOD.
no promises. We should have just gotten Necro, dude.
It would just
I'm
be
like,
a phone call.
my heart is like filling up thinking about our jaunt to Philly.
Just call Necro Butcher right now on the cell phone and put him on this fucking show. Speakerphone. Interview the Necro Butcher. Call him on Facebook. He'll answer your
I
call.
think he's. I think now that he moved, he's just on Messenger Pigeon only.
What the fuck is that?
It's when you tie a note to a pigeon's
Oh,
leg and
like
have
an
it
actual.
fly
I
to
thought
the-
it was an app. I thought Messenger Pigeon might have been an app, dude.
No, Messenger Pigeon's not that, but that's a good idea.
Hmm.
Hey, let's read this. Brian, I tried to pull up this Jobber TV thing, and of course, when I try to search him on Google, when I type in Jobber TV, unlike Boulevard Bullies, which pops up right away, Jobber TV, I had to go to like page 5 of Google to find.
It's not Jobber TV. It's Jobber Radio.
Oh well, there you go. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
Jobber
old. I'm
Radio, I
still
knew
still
that.
learning this Google.
You literally
Jobber
read the comment.
Radio 2024 end of year Deathmatch Awards. Thank you for clarifying that it's the end of the year Deathmatch Awards. Ready? I don't have the results here. I have only the nominations. Was this fan voted?
It's all fan voted. I don't think that the results might have not came out yet.
Okay, so I'll ask you guys, and in the chat, please feel free to state your opinion. 2024 Deathmatch Wrestler, breakout Deathmatch Wrestler of the Year. You ready? The nominees are Judge Joseph Dredd, Tommy Trainwreck, Alex Stretch, who the only Alex Stretch that I claim is the old guitar player of My Bitter End, Dmitry Alexandrov, or Dominic Denaro. I have a soft spot in my heart for Dominic. I love him. By the way, I'll give you one guess on who out of the three people who are on this podcast told him to start wearing tracksuits and lean into being Joe Pesci, but that's a story for a different day.
Who the fuck books that guy?
No company that I know the name of.
So how is he going to be the breakout star of the year?
I think that Judge Joe Dredd is obviously head and shoulders.
I'm very upset that like Dr. Redacted is not on that list.
But wouldn't you
He's
say
had a great year.
Dr. Redacted was kind of like, he might have been the breakout of 2023, and now he's just kind of like a well-respected.
I feel like him and Judge Joe Dredd are like came about maybe the same time.
So what's your answer, Brian?
I would because of the. I mean, I'm pretty pissed at this list because I don't agree with it. But I would go with Judge Joe Dredd. But I'm very upset that Dr. Redacted is not even a choice.
Larry, what do you think? Judge Joe Dredd, Tommy Trainwreck, Alex Stretch, Dimitri, or Dominic?
Tommy Trainwreck is also a great option.
Well, I mean, the highlight of his year was probably being on this pod.
He wrestled in the chains with a pretty great match.
Well, the highlight of his year is probably being on this pod.
For sure.
And getting us on this pod to be a sponsor of his upcoming show in March.
We Love Wrestling this coming March 1st in Maryland. No,
another
Chicago.
massive highlight
it's
for
in
him.
Chicago. It's in Chicago. Burrow and Eagles.
Yep.
Larry, breakout deathmatch superstar of 2024.
I'm with everybody in Judge Joe Dredd being the obvious choice, but I'm very much also with Brian about how old Dr. Redacted's not in the running for that.
The old doctor.
He had a great year, and and Brian kind of hit the nail on the head that they kind of both like broke out his deathmatch guys all over at the same time. So why was Dr. Redacted not on there?
Well, here I'll break it down very simply. I don't disagree with you guys. I don't really know the timeline of Dr. Redacted's rise to fame, but the one area that Judge Joe Dredd fucking kills him in is excellently thought out, produced, shot, and edited promos.
You said that's a negative thing for him?
No, Judge Joe Dredd has some of the better promos on the entire indie scene, just like
and
visually, color, editing, rhythm.
100%. Many wrestlers don't do that. Who else does that besides Atticus Cogar? I can't think of any wrestlers that do promos at that caliber.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why I think Blvd Bullies was able to ascend, is because like there aren't a lot, or at least back when Brian was getting taught how to use Photoshop by Matt Stryker in high school.
I taught myself.
Back then, there weren't a lot of, people who might have gone to film school for half a semester in the wrestling space. Now everybody's got a fucking DSLR and they're all doing their fucking bullshit. Everybody's DJ Tony D. It's a DJ joint. It's a fucking such and such production. Everybody, it's like there's been a vacuum.
Motherfuckers.
But wrestlers, still a lot of wrestlers, and shame on them, are still cutting car promos. Basically, the best car promo you'll see all year is what you just watched on this here program from Rhinestone Cowboy. 2024 100%. International Death Match of Wrestler of the Year. It's funny, there's a International Death Match of the Year. It's actually a Wrestler's Award. Joel Bateman, Rina Yamashita, Big Effin' Joe, Cyclope, and Lou Nixon. I'm just going to default to Lou Nixon because Brian made fun of him enough to make him shave his head. So I love him for that. And thanks for the exclusive giveaway.
Yeah, I was going to go Big Joe with the honorable mention of Lou Nixon for the mere fact that he hates me so much just for calling out his bad hair. But definitely Big Joe. Definitely Big Joe.
By the way, the photo used on this here website is of Lou Nixon with his shit hair. I don't like the 2024 Big Joe because he got a little less pudgy, and
Dude,
I like
he's svelte.
I like the I like fat Big Joe, and I don't like. Okay, I can deal with the.
He's like
underwear.
TV Joe. He's like TV Joe now.
I can deal with the underwear, the tighty whities when you're wearing like the button-up shirt. I like the button-up shirt and tighty whities. I don't like shirtless boots.
See,
it's just
I
boots,
think-
tighty whities, and gloves. Hate that look. And now he's svelte. I hate when
Dude,
fat people get skinny.
I think
He's
that
Ozempic Joe.
wearing
He's not svelte Joe. He's not TV Joe. He's Ozempic Joe.
wearing tidy whities as a deathmatch wrestler just makes people respect you more.
Larry,
as opposed to someone like
deathmatch.
Thomas Vendetta, who wrestles a match with long sleeves and jeans. People talk shit about that kind of gear when they're doing death matches.
I love in this picture, Lou Nixon also has a Hannah Montana shirt. Wow, bro, so meta. You're so cool. Suck it. Larry, who's your international deathmatch breakout star, deathmatch wrestler star internationally of the year?
Don't shake your head, Larry.
I'm going with Rena. I'm going with Rena just because she's holding down the flag for women that are making an impact in
Oh my God.
wrestling
I agree with you, Larry.
and making an impact in a genre, if you will, of wrestling that they're not really like known for. Rena tore it up.
She had that ultra violent title for over a year. She definitely had it for a long fucking time. She just lost it
Yeah, I
to
would
Brandon
rank her
Kirk.
honorable mention. By the way, Jobber Radio, shout out to you. Love you, bro. Obviously we just love to talk shit. Results are not out yet. Plenty of time to vote.
We're
Over
riffing
500 votes have been cast. The entire
That's awesome.
deathmatch community has cast their votes.
We didn't yet. There's going to be 503.
Yeah, I haven't cast my vote yet.
Plenty
I'll
of
be
time to
right.
vote. And by the way, newsflash, and you know what? My instincts were right. I felt like Dr. Redacted was more of a 2023 breakout. And guess what, Brian? Guess what?
He won last year.
He won last year.
But Joe Dredd, it's just because he was nominated last year, was Judge Joe Dredd nominated last year? Do you know if he was nominated? Just because he didn't win doesn't mean he wasn't nominated.
I mean, my breakout is Beastman. He just had a huge win over Schlack. I think he deserves it.
He's not even on the list.
Well, that's a oversight.
This list was made before the event even happened.
Well, that's not a true 2024 list, is it now?
Well, I'm already pissed off at the list because Dr. Redacted wasn't on a breakout star of
He won last year.
Okay,
He can't break out 2 years in a row.
He debuted for GCW this year. He's bigger this year than he was. I think he broke out this year. I don't know. That's my opinion. Damn it.
Truth Seek says Big Joe hit my weed pen. He has my vote. Big Joe finger banged a girl in a Texas Longhorn Steakhouse parking lot in New Jersey.
Phil Vibes finger banged a girl in our van.
Oh, and he hung out in our van, right?
In Delaware. No, Phil Vibes. I said finger banged a girl in our van.
Yeah, we
Like a
can't
show
co-sign every comment as being
Yeah, we
honest.
can't co-sign every finger bang. Dredd was not nominated last year. 2023 nominees were Eric Dillinger, Dr. Redacted, Tommy Vendetta, and Hoodfoot.
What'd
Oh,
you say? You
Hoodfoot
said
was
that really
robbed. That's
fast.
all I need to know.
You said that very fast.
That's how we do it. 2024 Jesus Spot of the Year. Drake Younger is retired. RPW Malignant. Otis Kogar Flaming Chair Shot. Circle 6 Till I Die. Casey Kirk jumping off of the thing at GCW. North Korean assassin set on fire. Cruel burned in a casket. I mean, obviously to me, it's Sean bloodying Brian in the XPW ring.
Wasn't on the list. Wasn't on the
there's
list.
5 here. There's a spot for a 6th. That's what it should be right there.
Biased. It's a biased list, Jobber Radio.
I think because I fucking hate Matt Justice, I think I'm going to go with Otis Kogar Flaming Chair Shot Head Gets Set on Fire.
See, I knew you were going to say that, but the North Korean assassin getting lit on fire was so much worse than that. Like, Otis's face wasn't burnt to a crisp North Korean assassin looked like a fucking burnt turkey.
All right, I'm skipping the tag team. Unsung
skipped
hero.
Larry.
Unsung. So Breakout is like on the come up. This is like 6th man award, most underrated unsung hero of deathmatch for the year. Otis, JJ, Dr. Redacted. See, Dr. Redacted, he won Breakout last year. Now he's ascended to a most underrated. And
Dude,
maybe
how
by
are you going
next
to be
year he'll the
underrated when you're
MVP?
getting booked on GC? Like you're booked on the company that's runs the most shows, that runs more than anybody.
Okay, so unsung hero of deathmatch of the year. Let's get a little bit quicker. Otis, JJ Escobar, Dr. Redacted, Drake Younger, Akira, my personal favorite, and John Wayne Murdoch.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Jesus
go.
Christ.
You know
These
what?
are
I'm gonna go JJ
underappreciated
Escobar.
wrestlers.
What? Unsung,
These-
underrated, unsung.
Underrated. And then you're going to say John Wayne Murdoch? Everyone sucks that man's dick.
No, I said JJ Escobar. I think is the
No,
unsung
not
hero.
I'm saying he's on the list. This man is on the list of being a fucking underrated wrestler.
Well, he's a good hand.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's a
La-
shithead. He
Larry,
broke
what do you
someone's
think
neck.
of those names I just named?
Unsung hero of deathmatch.
Yeah, I left off Atticus Teeth, who shall not be named. 800-pound
Oh,
chicken
he's on the
nugget
list.
eating.
I mean, well, y'all don't really know how integral Otis is to running 7.
Okay, so you're gonna go Otis.
Y'all
I think
really don't
I
know.
think I agree with
He does
Otis.
a lot. He does a lot. He
All right,
does
so
a lot.
you guys are on Otis. I'm on JJ.
He's booked way more than JJ Escobar. He's on a lot more shows than JJ. And I would say that JJ deserves to be booked in more shows.
Deserves
Yeah.
2024 event of the year. ICW No Holds Barred, Volume 64. I don't remember what happened, but I'm seeing a picture of Matt Tremont and Atticus. GCW Cage of Survival 3. RPW Scum of the Earth. Circle 6, Loco Till I Die, and RPW Malignant. Oh, and some other thing that I never heard of at some fucking shantytown skate park is also on this. I never heard of these.
Okay, first, see, and thank you for reminding me that this fucking match, this event, is even on the list. New
What
Fear
event?
City Murder Mania,
Never heard
the
of
one that shall not be named, was a terrible event to attend. If you were an attendee, you were fucking freezing, and you were standing there watching people overdose on fucking drugs. And cops having to come, and it being a fucking weird vibe. I literally left. I was there with Amanda and her friend Stacy, and we left the event because it was shit. And I don't care if you agree with me or not. There's people that do agree with me. And that's all I'm going to say. But
we don't know
Eat
their
the
names, though.
Turnbuckle was sold out
How do you
and not even on the list.
What was sold out?
Eat the Turnbuckle, the final bloodbath battle royal.
Oh, you know what? Okay, Brian, you're making some sense here. Yeah, I think that you could easily swap out the skate park show for
Terrible.
the underground arts. I think as far as deathmatch and that
travesty.
weekend,
It's a
I think
travesty
underground
it's not
arts
on the
was the
list.
spot. What happened when somebody
Shenanigans.
overdosed? They dragged her out and then just brought
Yes.
in dancers.
Lindsay Snow was the only one that knew how to revive her and knew what the fuck was going on.
Thank God.
Lindsay Snow saved this lady's life with I think Narcan.
Narcon.
Narcan shot her.
Larry, what was your favorite event that you personally did in 2024?
Wow. That's a hard one, Pat.
I just pulled it out of my bum. You could give me three. You could give me three if you want. You could narrow it down. Give me a Rushmore or a 3 or a 2.
Probably Seven's King of the Death out in LA this last month.
Because
or
you watched
this month.
Beetlejuice on the plane. And that made it the best.
That maybe set the tone.
I want to just shout out the Masada versus Jake Christ in the Sticks and Stones death match, because that was just awesome. Did any of you? I know you saw it, Larry.
Fellow bully Rhinestone Cowboy was very hyped on that because of the creativity and ingenuity involved.
Do you understand?
Yeah, because you go to the woods, you get a bunch of fucking sticks, you get a bunch of stones.
Dude, it wasn't
cheaper
sticks,
than
dude. It was like fucking huge branches.
Oh, they branched.
It wasn't just sticks. It looked like pieces of trees. It was large pieces of trees that looked like if you got slammed on it, it hurt.
Well, that's because somebody who works
and
there
then
is
they had
a landscaper.
Jake Christ put stones inside of a stock and beat Masada with them.
Those were styrofoam.
Stone.
No, they were styrofoam peanuts painted like stones. Larry, what were you gonna say?
Peanuts. That would hurt too, dude.
You know what I called them on commentary with OG Kevin Gill? I said, Kevin, these bundles are they're like briars. You remember the old story about Briar Rabbit in the briar patch, and how if he got Peter Rabbit, he got stuck in the briar patch, it tore all his clothes off. As you know, if you listen to my commentary, I mentioned the nomenclature of these bundles, these faggots, if you will, these bundles of sticks. I call them briars.
I knew that's where
you can't even. First of all, it's a place, and it's also meatballs. It's a food.
I get on commentary.
It's a word. It's a word.
Oh well, I love that. I love that for you.
I did. Yeah.
By the way, comment on this episode. Win wooden dreidel, Akira
wooden
card, and
no, it's already the person won the wooden dreidel. The person won. It was Axel Nose. Axel Nose won the wooden dreidels and the Schlock stickers.
Yeah.
And now you can comment on this week's episode when this episode ends for the 7 CD given to us and made by Horror Pain Death Gore Productions and the Akira card.
Tournament Performance of the Year. Mickey Knuckles, Tournament of Death. Or Invite, ICW, MKE, Insane 8. Schlack, King of the Death 7. Sawyer Wreck, Nick Gage Invitational, or the Sawyer Wreck Invitational. Little Sicko, IWA Deep South Carnage Cup. Brendan Kirk, Tournament of Survival 9. I mean, just based on the photo, the Schlack is good. But you know what? I got to go Mickey.
I guarantee you didn't even watch Carnage Cup.
I guarantee you I didn't watch any of these 6 events that are named.
Right.
But I am entitled to my opinion about who deserves what.
Okay. So you think that now you just sound like an egotistical, stupid man.
You know what? That's your opinion.
I make opinions after I watch and make an opinion for myself. You're sitting here not watching
like I do every week.
Exactly. And saying what you think is right.
And somehow I am right.
And Larry, look at Larry's little eyes. Look at Larry's eyes.
Do you like how I broke out Manson lamps before? That's from Sopranos. Larry, who's your favorite? Mickey Knuckles, or Invite, Schlack, Sawyer Wreck, Lil Sicko, Brandon Kirk performance in a Tournament of the Year? Year of Tournament Performance Year Award, 2024. Starring Mickey Knuckles.
I'm going to go with the tie. No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Aunt Mick. I'm gonna go with Aunt Mick.
Huh.
I'm gonna go with Aunt Mick.
Huh.
And I'm gonna give an honorable mention Orin. And the only reason I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Orin is because that Orin made sure that when I announced him for the King of the Death match in LA for SVN, that in his intro I mentioned that he was the 2024 Insane 8 winner.
Brian?
I'm going to go Little Sicko, and I'm also a little upset that he wasn't on the breakout stars of 2024 because he also performed insanely at XPW, which Jobber Radio did not add to his list.
I mean, there's only so many. Rivalry of the Year, 440, Blue versus Yella. Atticus Kogar versus the deathmatch scene. Well, that's a little presumptuous. Effie versus Mance Warner. Mickey Knuckles versus Judge Joe Dread. I mean, I'm going to go Effie versus Mance. Those are two of my favorite guys who probably never want to speak to me again, but I love them.
I'm gonna go with them too, Pat, because as much as I try to like kind of like keep my blinders on, like Brett, do your thing, I don't give a shit. That shit was in my face.
Yeah, and those two guys are amazing. Fight forever.
They are. So
yeah, they're like Tommy Dreamer versus Raven if the world became a big ass pussy, which it has. Brian,
I'm gonna say that I would have went the 440 storyline had Ricky Shane Page been there with Atticus for the final payoff of what was supposed to happen.
And you know what's so
the whole thing got tarnished and changed once Atticus got announced as being back in GCW, which then caused turmoil and this whole story to go to shit. So then it totally went a left turn, and no Atticus, no Eric Ryan, no RSP in the final 440 blow-off. So I have to go Mickey and Judge Joe.
You see, I really love how there are 3 primary colors that make up all of the other colors. Are you following?
Yeah.
I know this is crazy to say, but green is actually a mix of blue and yellow. So do you see the deep Shakespearean brilliance here? They had green and they split it into blue and yellow.
The whole ending did not hit because there was no...
Yeah, but what about
Ricky
what I
Shane
just said
Page.
about the primary colors, Brian?
Yeah, I get it. Ricky Shane Page made it that way. And without Ricky Shane Page, there is no 440. So the whole storyline is shit without Ricky Shane Page.
Honorable mention to Atticus Cogar versus the entire deathmatch scene. I think he would probably be the best social media manager of any Hot Topic in the country. I feel like he'd be great at doing that. 2024 Deathmatch Championship of the Year of the Yarsh. In our shark
Of the Yarsh.
The ICW American Deathmatch title, the H2O Donnie Havoc Hardcore title, the Horror Slam Deathmatch title, the belt that shall not be named. It looks a little crappy. It looks like it was wrapped in tinfoil like Brian's dad was giving to him on the 8th night of Hanukkah, and the RPW Rust Belt title. I'm just going to go visually here. They all suck. Brian?
I have to shout out my good friend, Jonathan Hammer, because that American Deathmatch title would not exist without Jonathan Hammer. And I think that is one of the most important belts in deathmatch history. Thank you to Jonathan Hammer and the Bocce Boys.
Oh, Jesus
Because
Christ.
without them, where would ICW be?
Well, they're really the unsung heroes of deathmatch wrestling. Really,
Right.
The
They
Bocces.
should have been on that. Just Jonathan Hammer. He's a lone bocce boy.
And honestly, speaking of who deserves what, how come Larry's not on unsung hero of deathmatch wrestling list? How come he's not nominated? I mean, the one common thread between all these fucking losers is that Larry sets it off, makes them seem 10 feet taller than they do.
We come for Larry.
And he deserves it. That's the most important part, in my opinion. Okay, here's the big one, guys. And by the way, shout out Jobber Radio. Really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing the work that we are never going to be not lazy enough to do or not do.
Mm-hmm. No, what he said.
Right? Yeah, exactly. 2024 Deathmatch Wrestler of the Year, Remington Raw, Schlock, Mickey Knuckles, very fun picture for Mickey Knuckles, and I love this. He did like a little Photoshop, a little 2024 Photoshop thing
Jobber
here.
Radio
was
puts
really
out
great
high
work.
quality,
It's high quality.
entertaining shit that it's fun to watch.
Remington, Schlack, Mickey, Neil Diamond, Cutter, Lou Nixon, Atticus Kogar. Hey, by the way, did you see that Neil Diamond announced his retirement? Or he said that he's doing a John Cena. He's doing the John Cena, just like that guy on your shirt, Brian. He's 2025 is going to be his last year wrestling and possibly being alive. Because he's going to go so hard in the paint, Larry.
Right. He's
gonna
He's going to get dropped on his head
He's gonna, yeah,
every single week.
He's
for
gonna
Neil
kill it.
Diamond Cutter to wrestle Jun Kasai in the States.
I feel like when Neil Diamond was on this program, he said that he has a lot of fans that like fund him internationally, a lot of like really heavy, deeply committed lovers of Neil Diamond. So I feel like once he announces his retirement, I feel like there's no way that Neil Diamond versus Jun Kasai is not going to happen in 2025.
I 100% agree.
Larry, who is your death match wrestler of the year? Schlack.
Oh, dude, hold on. Wait a minute.
I think I agree.
Ooh.
Maybe Judge. Maybe the Judge himself, dude.
I mean, once I said Schlack's name, the name that was like right on the tip of my tongue after that was Drake.
Oh, that's a really good one too. That's really good
Every
too.
You know what I mean?
single death match that man has is legendary.
You know why? Because he was deathmatch wrestling before X-Men came out, Brian.
Because he was in WWE.
Because he's old. Because he's old. Oh, because he's in WWE, just like Matt Striker.
Right.
Yo, I would love to see Drake versus Matt Striker in a death match. I think that's where I want. They're both very
Blvd
tan
Bullies
men.
Backyard Barbecue 3?
3? You think Sean will let us use his backyard?
We'll find another one.
We'll just go to that public park right behind Sean's house. Like, hey, it's a free country, bub.
With the fucking
call the
gophers,
cops.
dude. Yeah.
I think, and
No,
Mickey
he's not
could
a
be up
cop
there
caller.
too. I mean, Mickey
he
with
not?
the
All right, listen,
TOD and
hey,
COD.
don't think just because I don't have my godson, it's not New Year's Eve, motherfuckers. Look at.
Oh, I
look at-
forgot about that whole situation. He doesn't have night school because it's
No,
New
but
Year's
I mean,
Eve.
like, just because I don't have him doesn't mean
We're
let's
supposed
go
to do a whole hour of
10:45.
After Bullies.
Well, no, I usually do an hour of After Bullies, but that's not happening because we have run long. I just looked at the time, and I apologize, Larry. We're branching. We've branched. We
It's a
started
lovely-
off
Yeah,
slow and
let's
chill.
do
Now
New
we're
Year's
this.
Eve. It's a
We're in La
lovely.
Casa.
Look,
Let's
it
take
says
home.
Happy New Year's here because I have the vibe set.
All right,
and we have a
final
New Year's
one, and
episode.
once again, shout out Jobber Radio. Everybody follow him on all social media platforms. He's a friend of the program. He's a great guy. He is great at doing awards.
We don't know him personally. We don't know if he's a great guy. Don't put him over like that.
You're right. He might be a piece of shit.
He
Put
didn't
him
put eat the
over.
turnbuckle
Listen
on
to
his list.
Brian.
He put not
him
one.
over.
He's an
single
asshole.
Don't put him
XPW
over.
match.
Unfollow
on
this
that
guy.
list,
Don't
and
put
I
him
don't agree with
over.
the list.
Yeah.
Guy's a piece of shit. 2024 Death Match of the Year. Effie versus Mans. Redacted versus John Wayne Murdoch. I would say Redacted versus Masada, actually, was one of my favorites of the year. Drake Younger versus Tommy Vendetta. Horror Slam. Schlack versus Matt Tremont. Concrete Hell. Big Jeff and Joe versus Donnie Darko. TOD. Drake Younger versus Akira. RPW Malignant. Malcolm Monroe III versus Drake Younger, and Orden Veit versus Drake Younger. I mean, that's, Larry, that basically supports what you just said. The
Drake
2024 Match of the Year candidates, 3 of those 8 matches have Drake Younger in them. So right there, that tells you who your Deathmatch Wrestler of the Year is.
But he wasn't even nominated for that spot.
Well, because this guy has horrible opinions. Just
The
like you, Brian.
list.
So...
Suck my dick.
I'm just fucking around. I don't know why. I got a little salty. That second beer made me a little salty.
I know you've been angry this
I'm
whole
full
episode.
of it.
The both of you.
Look. We've run over. Let's take it fucking home and not.
I've
waste
enjoyed
no
this
more.
episode greatly.
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve.
I got Akira on my shirt.
John Cena. Hey,
It's Akira. He got this this wound while we were there.
forget about this fucking list that we just said. Let's go just branch off, and let's go not only deathmatch, but the indies and the feds and TV.
It sounds like it's very time consuming. This sounds like this is a very time
It's not. Just say it
wrap-up
off the
to
top of
New
the
Year's
dome.
Eve show, and it is 9:26.
Oh my
Patrick,
God.
No, just because my God's
Patrick
not
does
here
this
doesn't
on
mean that we
purpose.
go like a whole
You know
half
what
an
it is,
hour.
Larry?
It's
You know what it
Patrick's
is?
ego.
We took
It's
every
Patrick's
time
ego.
last
You know,
year
'cause I
that you
can
were
go. It's
30 seconds,
9:26.
90 seconds, 2 minutes late, and we added it on to the end of the year show. So you're making up fucking time right now, Larry. So off the dome, and then you can fucking hang up and go fucking jerk off or whatever the hell you're doing for New Year's. Wait till your balls drop. What is your match of the year for 2024? Goddamn. In your fucking opinion. He's asleep. Okay, Brian.
I'm going to go the Gauntlet of Death at XPW, where Judge Joe Dredd went from number 1 and he went to the end, and Homeless Jimmy, the unsung Jew of the year of forever,
Comeback wrestler of
comes
the year,
out
Homeless Jimmy.
and wins it all.
Love
Not
it.
on the list. Not on the list.
Larry? Well, it's
But
because you
it's-
killed XPW this year, Brian. Larry?
Dude, it's hard. It's hard for me to just go cycle through all of them. I'm gonna go with
He's frozen.
He's thinking.
I'm gonna go with
It's hard to be put on the spot. You should have thought about this before the episode, Larry. It's the final
well,
episode
I've
of the
done
year.
so much. I've done
It's
so
the
much. I've
final
done so
episode of the
many.
year.
Final episode ever. Last episode.
Damn, you've done crazy shit. You were
You've
there
done
when
a
Nick
lot.
Gage.
You've
came
been
out.
all
Oh,
over
look,
the
Did you see
globe.
that? Did you see that lightning? There's gonna be a thunderstorm outside. I'm gonna go to fucking Brooklyn Paramount like an idiot.
I'm going to walk over to Baraki just in my sweatpants, do the champagne toast, then come home.
I'm gonna go with Drake. I'm gonna go with Drake.
Drake and who?
Drake and who?
Drake and who?
Drake and who?
Drake and who, Larry?
Drake Schlack dog collar match battleground championship.
I love that.
Oh,
You guys,
23
Honorable
Arena.
mention: Schlack versus Matt Tremont, Concrete 2. That was
Hey,
a great match, dude.
you guys both have very, well, I don't want to say you have good opinions, but you're both entitled to your opinions, but you are way off the mark here. Match of the year 2024, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, main event, WrestleMania Night 2.
We weren't there for that.
Finish
So I don't-
the
I don't agree.
story.
No, I finished my story night 1. So fuck Cody Rhodes and his story. Gauntlet of Death, XPW.
Yeah, that or Homeless
XPW
Jimmy
is
show.
not dead. Not dead.
Because Homeless Jimmy finished his story, and not long after that, he had a home.
Homeless Jimmy is still homeless, still a Jew, still XPW King of the Death Match champion.
All right, so that's it. Final thoughts, final words to close out the year.
Final words. New Year's resolution.
Resolution time.
Attending Tournament of Death in Delaware in September, not the summer, because this is the new generation, the younger generation, and I'm going to be there. So if you hate me and you want to fight me, I'll be there. Tournament of Death.
Hey, I'd be there. Wait a second. Hold on. We have late breaking news. Right now, apparently, John Wayne Murdoch is fighting Megan Bain in GCW, so that's my new match of the year. Larry, final thoughts on the 2024.
Dr. Redacted also wrestled Joey Janela tonight in a death match.
God bless him. I wonder if Joey Janela wants Dr. Redacted to die as much as he wants you to die because of how much he wants to
I don't
fuck
think
your
Joey Janela
wives.
even knows who I am because of his CTE, and I think he's just a fucking stupid idiot.
Larry, put a button on this whole thing. Thank you, by the way, for spending your time with us and staying later. We love you. You're a great dad to all of us.
I know. I gotta do stuff though, and it's like sometimes I don't even know what time it is, but we gotta go.
Well, we had a nice time.
You know,
we
we
branched,
gotta
we
go.
argued, we fought, we kissed.
Yeah, but
It's the last episode of the year, Larry.
Somebody's gotta keep a timer.
Oh, I'm looking at it. I just
Or else if I
was
wouldn't have
waiting-
brought it up,
I
if
was
I wouldn't
literally
have
just
brought it up, we
waiting
would've
for you
gone
to
to
notice
10.
and end the
We
show.
would've gone
I
to-
was
we
going to let
would've
it
gone-
run as
oh,
long
we would've
until
gone
you
to-
noticed.
We would have gone to the ball drop.
I knew
I'll
that
go.
you were going to at some point notice that we ran long and instantly end the show.
Where's
so I
your
just
son?
let it ride.
Are you saying that you have a family?
Do you have a
Are
family?
you saying that you have a family, Larry?
I'm not saying a bitch has a family, but bitches got shit to do, and we don't
With a
go
family?
this late. Usually I'm gone.
You know what? I'll do an after show for a half an hour. I'll do an after show till 10. All right?
With me?
You want to come with, Brian?
With a duo? I'll do
duo?
a duo show.
Well, I mean, the real duo is me and Larry. You're just kind of in our orbit, but
I really highly am offended when you say things like that. And I'm just going to say on Hanukkah.
You're just
on
one of the
Hanukkah,
moons on our
it's
anus.
disrespectful, and it's a little anti-Semitic.
Larry, bring us home, Daddy-O. We all love you so much.
I just
Thank
want
you,
to say I'm so proud of you, Patrick.
Oh,
The
Jesus
original
Christ.
Boulevard bully that shit the rest of the Boulevard bullies out of his anus on Queens Boulevard.
He wishes I would quit. He wishes I would quit like Sean.
Stop interrupting
It's like,
Larry, Brian.
shit.
He's trying to
I won't
praise
quit
me.
ever.
Larry's
I'm
trying
like
to
a
pay me a
fucking
compliment. Just shut the fuck
infinite
up for a goddamn
hemorrhoid.
second.
Pat,
Go on.
Pat dropped all of his kids off at the fucking pool in the Elks, not the original Elks Lodge that Pat actually attended, also known as the Madhouse of Extreme. Brian, you have no idea about this, but the Madhouse of Extreme, not the original Elks Lodge that Pat actually attended, but the one that I so humbly was able to do shows in.
The low attendance
Interesting.
annex.
Yeah,
Look at this.
Jolly
You're
Rogers.
talking shit that you know what? I think that you both are hypocrites and assholes. And that's all I'm going to say.
Well, you're entitled to your shitty opinion, Brian.
100%.
As am I, and as are you, Pat. But listen. It's way okay. Those are the giveaways. Comment.
Comment.
Play us out. I've been waiting to be played out. I'm sweating now.
Well, I'm going to tell you
play
something.
us out. Play us out.
You
Play
are
us
correct,
out. We
Larry,
gotta
that
go.
you are entitled to your opinion. Brian, you're entitled to your opinion.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hit the
I
bottom
am
now.
entitled to my opinion. Guess who ain't entitled to no opinion? Our fucking enemies. And if you are one of those people, I hope that you had a shitty fucking 2024. Sorry you lived. But in 2025, you will rest assured. Die slow. See you next year, bitches. Out of time. Bye-bye. Sorry you lived, Wisconsin.